Hello at chat.
Oh, what the hell?
I know we got at Darth Gavel and at Green Lion.
It's very confusing.
What's going on here?
Daryl and what the hell?
It's
YouTube.
so confusing. Mm.
It really
YouTube
is
always
dumb.
messing with shit, and they need to stop it.
Yeah, it stinks of some freaking a-hole just trying to justify their existence and needing to change stuff that doesn't need to be changed. And they'll have some rationalization for it, and it's going to be this way permanently, and it's going to suck. So sorry. Not much. Hi, everybody.
If there's enough backlash, but I don't know.
Yeah, you thought it was hard enough to like say people's names when they were actually able to put their username there and separate and do spaces. Now everything's ran together. Gary, it's going to take you twice as long to read super chat.
You're going to say the @ for every name.
I am, just to be annoying. Just to be annoying as that is, I'm going to do it. Yes.
Like this guy, is his name Curtis Hart or is his name Curtis Shart? I don't know.
Speaking of sharts, Ryan, we're going to talk about IronSHART. And then we're going to talk about Superman because, you know, there was a very reasonable, level-headed discussion on Twitter yesterday.
As there always is.
I want to give you I want to give you all credit for just, you know, like sitting down and thinking about what you're saying and having a cordial conversation with your fellow human being on Twitter. It was really impressive. As a matter of fact, we were getting attacked from Black TikTok, and that looks downright reasonable compared to what happened on Superman yesterday.
Gary, don't you mean BlickTok?
Yes. Wait, Garrett.
It's basically just TikTok, but with lower credit scores. I think that's how it works.
My favorite part of the Superman discussion was when I said that this scene in particular, they uploaded the Jimmy Kimmel scene. I said this whole entire scene is fucking retarded. Yeah. And then someone quote tweeted it, and then someone responded and says, "Isn't this the guy that said there's too many good black people in the Batman?" And then somebody responded, goes, "No, he's just your typical Snyder elitist. He's mad because they took Zack." I was like, fuck. I was like,
oh, it was so good. It was a lot of fun.
I saw how inflamed it was getting, and so I thought it would be great to insert myself and say, "Hey, calm down. Two Batmans can be shit at the same time."
They can both suck ass.
Oh man, yeah, no, the Superman discussion is wild right now. It really is.
And having a reasonable take is the worst thing in the world.
I know. It really is. So bad.
And nobody's fucking happy, and everybody hates you. Then you're either shilling or a hater. It's like, all right, yeah, sweet.
Oh man,
my God. Yes, playing the part of Odin today. We've gone full woke and we've race swapped Odin into Epic Mike. So Epic Mike, welcome.
I will ensure that Odin never wants me back on this show.
Dude, you've already said more words than he ever has in the whole
It's because he's Black Odin. He's going to talk.
You know though, Mike.
It's Odin.
Hey, Mike. Look, I know you want to be iconic, Mike, but you can't steal Beardo's spot here, all right? And you might think you're entitled to it because Gary, you might think he has all these millions, but Gary built this place in a cave with a bunch of scrap.
That is true. And it shows.
I ain't going to roast him off rip.
No.
I was going to say, who race swapped Sideshow Bob?
Yeah. Thanks for that, Disparu. Yeah.
Look, it's not my fault. You look like Sideshow.
You'll watch my fucking stream for hours, say nothing, and then pop it, and he just goes, "Mike looks like Sideshow Bob." And then he leaves.
I didn't know about that.
And then he just fucking leaves, and then he'll message me later and be like, "My bad." I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
Well, you know, it's
become a meme. Let alone be on all the
Never
streams.
apologize. Never apologize.
Nobody believes you until you show the pictures side by side.
I can't unsee that now. That is uncanny.
You won't unsee
No, it was worse before because he had a really spiky afro.
I'm still disappointed that Mike never went with the nickname of Black Toad from Mario Brothers. That would have been Black Toad.
Terrible,
dude. That would have been amazing.
That
would have been. Oh, that would have been so good.
Jeremy, keep his diabetes out of this, okay?
Yeah. He went for the much. It's so cool, epic Mike. Doesn't it just sound badass?
Well, I mean, it's on brand for a company that's called Epic Verse. So you know.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you guys, the ones that just opened up the theme park, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, we're gonna have
they owe us money now. So.
They do. And listen, Mike, the only reason I invited you on, I know there's been a lot of speculation about it. So the truth of the matter was to piss off Beardo. So that's why you're here.
I've said this many cases. If it's for a petty reason, it's completely worth it.
Absolutely.
It's not about helping people get ahead. It's not about helping my fellow black man. Fuck all of that. It's petty. It's to piss off Beardo.
It's absolutely
my
petty.
life is infinitely better for it.
Yes, it is. Right. You benefit. I lift up black people by being petty. Okay.
Did you just say who the fuck's Beardo?
Yeah, what the fuck is a Beardo?
Well, I mean, Beardo is, the technical
sounds like
term.
an overgrown vagina from the 70s.
No, I mean, technically, it's
isn't it an automatic banana?
No,
straightening?
it's a gay man marrying a woman to cover up the fact that he's gay.
See.
Did I get that right? I'm pretty sure I got that right. I gotta go back to your
chat is telling me that there's a number of more things of what a beardo is. There's a banana straightener. There's the thing.
You know what I know?
What, a merkin.
Beardo is a guy who doesn't know who Geordie LaForge is. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Do you not know Geordie LaForge?
Fucking out.
I have no idea. That's crazy.
He's racist. Hey, we got speaking of racism, we have an ad read. So it's Rumble, baby. They don't care. 1775 coffee. What if your coffee didn't just wake you up, but it actually made you feel sharp, focused, and ready for the day? That's the difference with 1775 pea berry coffee. These beans are rare, less than 5% of all coffee grown. They're denser, natural, higher in caffeine. I was going to say they make you higher. Oh, higher in caffeine and packed with antioxidants. That means more mental clarity, something I lack every day, better energy, and zero crash. Each bean grows solo, high in the Bolivian mountains, and is handpicked at peak ripeness. It is, I won't say ethnically grown. The result, a smoother, more concentrated flavor that kickstarts your metabolism without the acidity or jitters. I like the jitters. You're still getting 1775's organic small batch. I almost said bitch. Small farm, single origin quality. Small bitch coffee.
A little bitch.
Just with a bean that goes above and beyond. Go to 1775coffee.com and use code Nerdrotic and get 15% off. It's coffee that actually earns its place in your morning. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Dude, I was watching your fucking review of Ironheart yesterday, and every time the fire alarm went off, I was like,
yeah. It's got the perfect echo on it. It's just feels like
now I can't unhear it. Is that Gary?
Is that a racist joke or is it my fire alarm? I was like, second time I went,
you know what's crazy is Mike doesn't hear anything.
When I started on the internet, I ripped mine out of the wall, so there was no chance of it ever going off. So.
That's always safe.
Mike's actually bald.
Change the battery.
I'd rather die in a fire than have to, be reinforced stereotypes.
Speaking of reinforcing stereotypes, you want to just talk about Ironheart now? I mean,
bandage off.
Because wow,
it has not been controversial over here. This is before my review came out. This is Perry Chan's fault because we get more heat from Nerdrotic Daily than we get from anything, I guess. We'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that, but yeah, Ironheart dropped this week, and it's everything we imagined it would be, but worse. It is easily, it's not being undersold. It is the worst written, more importantly, the worst acted Marvel live action product And I know it did the deep cut in the video, but I mean, I'm going back to the Electric Company when Spidey used to walk around with his little thought bubbles and shit, and it was just a kid's show. That acting was better than the, like, I cannot describe how bad the acting was, mostly from the drag queen, who surprisingly enough, that was his first role.
Surprise.
That's
I'm not Riri. Are you there, Riri? Come in.
That's the thing to like about the show for me. I think it's poorly written. I think it's bad. All that stuff. It's annoying. The characters are annoying as fuck. I don't know if it's just written for like 17-year-olds or whatever, but holy shit, the drag queen is annoying as fuck. But the way everyone talks to each other, the way everybody interacts, the weird praise that gets heaped on everybody from everybody else, from the hood consistently saying they're so hot and they're pretty and it's the prettiest group of criminals I've ever seen, trying to gaslight the fucking audience into thinking you're not looking at a fucking horror show in front of you. You
got a dude with 5 o'clock shadow, hairy arms, and fucking double mastectomy there. You know, it's like, come on.
I mean, I got jump scared every time he appeared on screen. I just but honestly, the worst thing about this show for me is just how evil Riri is. I couldn't get over how much of an awful, disgusting, vile.
It's the soft bigotry of low expectations. The TV
I need that
show.
money. I need that bag. Give me that money.
How can they write someone like this and unironically think that, oh, this is a good person, people are going to love this character? You'd have to be in another reality, honestly.
She's self-centered, fucking hugely over. Like, her ego is insanely huge. I'm the best person around. I'm so smart. I'm bigger than Stark, bigger than Gates, bigger than Jobs. Like, the entire show starts off that way.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just to let you know, your girlfriend be bigger than Jobs, right? Bigger than Gates, right? Bigger than Penn, right? Bigger than Stark. Yeah, come on.
Did you put the wrong one in? I put the wrong one in, sorry.
Here we go, okay. Just to let you know, your girlfriend be bigger than Jobs, right? Bigger than Gates, right? Bigger than Penn, right? Bigger than Stark. Yeah, come on.
That's how the show opens.
Yeah,
that's how it literally first frame.
Her entire attitude is, I would be amazing if I wasn't held back by all these people, if I just had equal opportunities with everyone else.
And never mind, she had the ride to MIT and then fucked it up.
Exactly, the MIT person says, we have pulled out every stop to cater to you, to give you all this special treatment, and you still can't progress towards your degree.
4 years?
She's like, 4 years. Getting gaslit by the show.
Need 1 more year.
Well, not to mention,
it's like an unreliable narrator.
She's already a college graduate. She graduated college when she was 15 and then got accepted into that program to help her. And literally multiple people in the show go, we get why you don't want to just go work for some corporate thing where there's all the red tape and you can't do all that stuff. I'm like, you can have like a 7-figure job in the MCU right now. They're always looking for people.
Like, they said Palo Alto, so they're referring to Google.
So I figure they're referring to
everywhere else
in general.
This is her character arc. She's gonna grow over this show.
It's called character development and media literacy. Don't you understand?
All the reviews say she doesn't have a character arc. She stays like this.
I've met gangbangers with more morals than this woman.
So
she makes it sound like the only thing that's stopping her is just money. And I'd rather, if she really is the smartest and the best, show us that instead of just telling us.
What they're doing is they're basically saying that everything that she's doing is justified because she's oppressed. Never mind the fact that she had a free ride to MIT and fucked it up.
So it's almost like they knew it was like so over the top they had to add a few things. So there's like 2 instances throughout the 3 episodes where she talks about why she needs to do this to help people, right? There's one very early on, and then there's one about somewhere in episode 2. However, that's negated by about the 25 other times that she says the reason she needs to do this is for her, to prove I can, so everybody recognizes me, so everybody respects me, so everything, like all this stuff.
You gotta demand respect.
If I can make one of those suits better than anybody else, they cannot deny my
greatness. Deny my greatness. I want to be iconic.
There's a way that there's a way you could do it where the first part of it was really dedicated to helping people. And even if you want to throw in some of the freaking activism or whatever about my people, where I come from, we don't have help. These could really help our people. These could really help these people in these communities. If you want to put your fucking activism, you can do something like that, but have that be the focus. And then she does keep hitting these roadblocks or whatever. And then she gets swept up and feels like her only option might be this life of crime. But instead, when she gets recruited by the Crime Time squad, she has already told Zay that her plan is to get hired at a lab that's big enough they won't notice when she steals shit from them.
Shit.
Yeah. She is already planning to thieve this shit away and steal shit before she gets approached by the criminal gang.
So great role model.
The suit that she has in the beginning of the episode of the show, she steals from MIT.
Yes. Yeah, well, they try to justify it. They try to justify it, Garrett, by saying, "Well, she built it with her grant money." That's not how it fucking works. The grant money is given to her to build stuff that belongs to the school.
How do we know this? Because when she puts on the suit,
how do I know this? I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, Garrett. How do fucking I know this?
The AI in the suit is an MIT based.
It's an
AI.
MIT,
from MIT. It ain't
her student number.
No.
And they just go like, yeah, you could take that.
So when they expel
multi-million-dollar
her,
suit,
it
that's
actually
fine.
shuts down the AI.
I know. And it was a gay pencil.
And even before that, one of the first things that we get to see of her character is her give the speech about how she's being made small, how she's not giving an opportunity, and the teacher, like Disparu says that's BS.
Yeah,
we take all of this around you.
That's my favorite character.
That's
in the
a
show,
complete
by the way.
lie.
Yeah,
which is
more of her.
And not only that, but this is not the first time she's even been in a disciplinary hearing for the shit that she's done in the school. That's why she's getting kicked out. And I'm like, oh, so she's a fucking liar too.
They didn't even get rid of her because she'd been cheating with all these other people. They fired her because she destroyed their entire electrical grid and it cost too much money. And the thing, I made that joke in the trailer, like as an extreme joke that she's just clearly an idiot because she doesn't even know how electricity works. And she does it twice in the first episode.
Disparu. She bites a live wire.
Yes.
She literally bites a fucking live wire in the elevator.
It's gonna electrocute the shit out of her.
And you know, like with the things that would be
depends what's going through that wire.
What a genius!
It does,
Yeah.
but
with
I'm
the things
guessing
we're
it
talking
could be
about.
risky with an elevator. Okay, it depends. Like if you want to try that on a car.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know for a
that,
fact
but,
you've done that with fucking cars, Gary. So
yes, I have.
But you know what? Tony
That's a
Stark
battery,
made
okay.
mistakes, but they didn't seem like dumb mistakes. They seemed just like trial and error of working stuff out.
Well, he's a flawed character, but he didn't join basically a crime syndicate to go fund his, Iron Man suit.
He was a playboy.
People keep trying to compare her to Iron Man. It's like, this is retarded.
They're trying to like
Justify
the justification out there from people who clearly didn't watch the show. Who want to I love most of the media literacy comes from people who didn't watch the fucking show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if you want to just announce you're a retard to the world, just announce media literacy unironically. Okay. Then we know it's like, okay, we're dealing with a retard. But yes, it would be fine if she was this arrogant little 19-year-old cunt and then becomes a hero throughout. We already know, thanks to Chris Gore, that her character doesn't change throughout the entire series. Like she stays absolutely the same. So there's no arc whatsoever. And it is very accurate to her representation in the comics. She is fucking horrible in the comic books. In the handful that I read from her, which is just for jokes, by the way. Well done, Gary.
Wait, is that a fire alarm?
I didn't hear anything.
What happened?
I
heard it.
I had it chirp.
I heard chirp.
Maybe I heard a little bit of that.
Yeah, I heard that. So that's not happening here. And the writing is such a mess. After watching it twice.
I know, right?
I watched it again today, Gary.
I'm watching episode 3 right now because I'm doing the review right now.
You can tell. So I was told by my Marvel guy that they tried to re-edit this almost a dozen times to fix it. And you can absolutely tell because narratively, it's a fucking mess. By the time you get to the final episode, you're like, what happened? What did they do? They spend a half an episode trying to figure out how to cut off a piece of cloak.
Yes.
And that's what it leads up to.
Extremely convoluted.
Super convoluted. We got to bring in the laser and we got to cover it up and we got to keep the suit outside. So she's got the suit inside so she can watch people die. And she doesn't lift a finger to help anybody. A bunch of, as Mike pointed out, a bunch of innocent working class security guards who are just trying to feed their families get fucking mowed through in this thing.
Yeah. Every episode. Every episode.
They portray the action like in MCU films when they're fighting like a bad guy. It's like slow motion is uppercutting this guy. You can see his badge fall off and picture of his wife fall out of his pocket and he's crying and shit. And they're like, yeah, that's what you fucking get. And they're like, we're not here to hurt people.
Yeah. Do you think you could identify these people?
Breaking and entering.
Yes. None of them wore a mask.
Well, you don't need to identify them. They gave you a contract with their names on so that you can pay them as an employee.
Yeah.
And there's also the very obvious black woman in an Iron Man suit who's completely identifiable. I mean,
they're on the news later.
On her doorstep yet? I have no idea.
They're on the news later as these people broke into the tunnels, and it's like, but you've already got a contract. She gave it to you. Just
what do you mean, these people?
Well, no, the movie unironically wants
to get to this.
Like, if you're rich, if you're rich, you're bad or evil, and therefore you deserve to be robbed or murdered or killed. And if you work for the rich people, they're you know, you can beat them up.
Well, you see.
Hey, you sound
Shad.
like New York City's new mayor.
Hey.
Get him out the prison. Shad, you see, the person who's making the tunnels is a bad person because they're displacing neighborhoods which are above ground so that they can build the tunnels which are underground. Just like every time there's a subway station, you will see no buildings.
No buildings at all.
They displace
everything.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
In Chicago and New York.
Down, it's the tunnels. It's in a fucking huge built-up area.
Well, they're making a big deal about it being privatized as. Remember that. It's not supposed to be private, even though that would probably reduce congestion in an urban environment, which would allow your buses and taxis and bicyclists, if you're gay enough to ride one, to go right around.
Drive-by shootings. Yeah. So I've been like, no, I'd love to go below ground to avoid.
I don't want to drive around the city.
And dude, by the way, that private tunnel system, it's only going to cost like $1 gazillion. What the hell was that?
Insane. It's fucking Minority Report drive, like cars.
Like, what the hell?
Gary, they killed you in this show.
Even ignoring
that.
Yeah, Gary, he was shot.
Oh, they killed Gary. Yeah.
They killed Gary. Yeah.
Well, even ignoring like the second half of the show that we know there's spoilers for. Like, imagine trying to hold that contract up in court. Yeah, they trapped me in like my fucking underground tunnels and made me sign this. They're like, oh, okay, well, like, just fucking rip it up and don't honor it. And they're like, yeah, because
scary dude with like magic bullets.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, ignoring the second half of the season, because a lot of people are trying to justify what they're doing with that. But like, for the people that don't know what's coming down the line, those contracts seem really fucking stupid. Like,
well, they do give them the money. That's why in the later episodes they have money, because that woman from the tunnels paid them out for some reason, rather than just taking them to a court system, like you said, or the judge, or just tearing it up. Like, who cares?
But what about the cameras that are clearly going to be in all of the vehicles which are under the fucking tunnel?
Yeah. Well, they have their bank details to pay them. It's like,
yeah. Well, and also, like, I do feel like they should have done something to address the fact that Riri's going around in this iron suit.
Yeah.
Right? This, like, fairly, like, remarkable, right? If you just see that out there, people are going to notice that.
Even in the MCU, people are going to notice that.
Yeah.
And they're going to know it's her because she stole a fucking suit from MIT. and what's funny is you know who first pointed that out, Ryan, was my fucking Marvel guy. He's like, this is so stupid. Like, she's supposed to be running around robbing people in secret, and she stole a fucking suit from MIT. Like, everybody's gonna know who she is.
Like I said, how the police haven't already showed up on our doorstep, I don't get this. It's dumb.
It's like episode 3 for the police to come.
It's all taking place over it's like less than 2 days. Like, this has all happened like within the span of like a day and a half.
I thought there was a montage there that they tried to like,
but that was
like,
overnight.
Look, montage of her spending like tomorrow 8 hours building a suit. I'm like, if you could fucking build this suit in 8 hours, what are you bitching about no money for?
With the table. That was the thing with the AI, remember? She's like, I can get all this stuff, but to get a top high quality AI, whatever, blah, blah, she's like, that's going to cost real money. And then without all that money, she just She maps it on her laptop overnight by mapping
On
her
a
brain.
laptop.
That pissed me off. She made like this super advanced AI on a freaking laptop, and that thing would take out like a supercomputer.
Yeah, it would.
Power.
But, okay, that retardation aside, the thing I find so funny about it, she makes this, amazing AI that's basically sentient. And she's like, oh my God, I fucked up. I got to erase it. It's like, you had the breakthrough of the century and you want to get rid of it? Are you fucking stupid?
Well, she's Wakanda, the isolationist based ethno state, obviously didn't want her to have their AI for obvious reasons. They got to know her, and it kind of plays off like they kicked her out. So props to you, Wakanda.
They probably noticed a lot of things missing.
Yeah.
They were like,
Wakandan, get out of here.
Yeah. When you say things like, man, if I only had a mountain of like vibranium, then I could be really rich. They're probably like, yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
You can leave.
Keep her away here.
Yeah, well,
I loved it,
shit
by the way.
everywhere we go.
Last night I watched all of your review, everybody's. I watched
Thank
yours,
you,
Gary.
Did you leave a like?
Ryan and Drunk 3PO, Disparu, there was other Drinker, etc. Right? Fucking the line of all of them was from Disparu's, where in the first episode he's flying through Chicago and it scrolls over the guys hitting the fucking bins as drums, and Disparu goes, careful, you might open the fucking force field of Wakanda via Wi-Fi.
I know.
Seems to be magic technology. No, I thought you meant when she went to her family and the guy walked through the door and went, hello, black people.
Yeah, hello,
black
people.
That was so weird.
I get a fucking message and he goes, do you greet friends like this?
It's funny because it's cringe
Only
when
if they're
fucking
white.
Jeremy does it, because sometimes Jeremy randomly says that to open up streams.
We've
What up,
got
black people or whatever?
Yeah.
You gotta agree. A black
Maybe
person
it was
doing
like
it was
a
even
diss from-
worse.
Maybe
But
they
Jeremy's
just
gay,
forgot
so
to
it's gonna
change
be
it.
weird.
I'm black from the waist down. I get to say it.
Very the vibes of hello fellow youths is very strong with this, and something that I couldn't ignore, because Iron Man, the original Iron Man film, all right, great film, one of the just concepts behind it that I really enjoyed was the fact that this had to break through new technology, and one of the core technologies that enabled making this thing was the power source. The power source was fundamental in making this work, and her suit works off of solar and wind power, and I'm like, piss off! Are you freaking kidding me?
That's
what
green
she said.
deal
She uses it at
propaganda
night.
bullshit.
Solar and wind power, she uses it at night.
One of the first tweets I made about this was that Tony built a suit in a cave with a box of scraps, but it wasn't the suit that was the breakthrough. It was the arc reactor. And everybody's like, yeah, but he had access to all and her suit's way more advanced. It's not the fucking suit. Because that's what Jeff Bridges is so pissed about, is that he built an arc reactor and nobody else can figure it out. And then invents a brand new fucking element to power the next suits that he has. Like, nobody can replicate that technology. That's not the big break. Her suit isn't the breakthrough that she wants it to be.
Yeah,
So,
but
if
she
she
bought
had
a bunch
billions,
of parts
though,
from
if she had
she bought a
billions.
bunch of parts from
She
a
just
car
need that
yard.
money.
Shad, so in the comics early on, Iron Man had to literally plug in his suit. Like he plugged it into the wall, and that's still fucking better than solar and wind power.
That's what she does. She does plug it into the wall at first, and she even says at one point it's charging. When it's in her wardrobe. So it's not solar power, and solar power it requires surface area. I don't know how you're going to magnify that all of a sudden.
Yeah, put that on the roof every
She's
day.
actually just being really based. And she says it's solar power, and how we get solar power is funneling it into electricity.
No, I genuinely think that's what she means. I think she means like charging it from the grid, which has recyclable new energy.
No, just for in the scene in episode 2 after she's done at the party or whatever, she clicks her thing, and her suit comes flying out of, because it was charging in midair, and it has wind turbines that are spinning, and it has a big solar wings. So she's genuinely meaning solar power.
And on top of that, it had solar panels out at nighttime.
Maybe it flew past the atmosphere around the world.
Moon rays are just sun rays from a different angle, okay?
Who wrote this? Do they have any understanding of anything? I'm just...
No, the people who wrote this are fucking stupid.
No, they are. They didn't watch Iron Man. By the way, Iron Man is not the be all end all, according to James Gunn. It's not that big of a deal of a movie, just to keep it in mind. But
it's a man shouting about a dog.
Yes.
Did anyone else notice how bad the score was? It was very unsettling to me, and I don't know, it was distractingly bad.
Was it black music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only was it black
there's
music,
actually some good old songs in it though that they ruined. That they absolutely ruined, but there's some good old songs in it. But
hello, fellow black people.
Bad,
I guess maybe they're watching if Perry clips it out. But
hello,
hi, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Black TikTok, what's up? I'm huge over Black TikTok. FNT, everybody loves it.
I love TikTok.
I'm getting so many nice emails right now. One guy, the worst insult of them all was they said my beard looks like linen from the dryer linen.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm going to recover from that.
I don't know, Gary. I'm sure you'll find a way.
My favorite time, whenever, every 6 months when we get these black outrages over something we say on this channel, my favorite parts are like the dozens and dozens of people that say, well, I want to hit that white boy right in the fucking mouth. And a bunch of people just cheering him on. And it's like, man, I applaud people for fighting back against the stereotypes,
That is the top comment on the TYT fucking video.
How dare they say we're all about violence? I'm gonna fuck them up for saying that.
If I see you in the street, I'm coming for you.
I can't show about a superhero. I'm gonna beat your face.
No, we got one this morning. Is like, I'm gonna send some black people to impregnate your daughters. And I'm like, I don't have any daughters, so I'm not worried about it.
We're gonna make them trans too.
Yeah. But again, way to like stay away from those stereotypes. So,
very level-headed.
I'm sorry.
Unaggressive.
I'm sorry, guys. It's cultural.
So
it's not a stereotype. It's cultural.
I just want to point out, we are not the ones that decided to make a show about a character that's failed over and over and over again that people despise. We are not the ones that decided to basically make the entire crime squad minorities. Marvel decided to do that. They are the ones that decided to do it. They're the ones that decided to write it this way. And we are reacting to what they've written. And it's laughable, quite frankly. But here we are. And of course, all the same articles that get rehashed from whenever the last thing that happened came out, where they say, well, people can't handle someone of color in a superhero movie. That's why there's review bombing. Man, I guess, I don't know about you guys. I missed the Telegram message telling all the racists to go review bomb Wakanda Forever or Black Panther. We missed that one. I don't know how that happened.
My favorite one was the that doctor guy from TYT, whatever. And he says, "Gah, black people we just can't get a break." And I'm like, can't get a break. So Disney hire you, one of the biggest, if not the biggest entertainment company out there. They give you $100 to $150 million. You got your showrunners in place. You got your writers in place. You got your actors in place. You got everything that you can possibly imagine. So what you're really saying is, oh man, why can't we force people to like bullshit? Because that's what you're fucking saying.
Yeah.
The parallels
with every opportunity. We didn't make this shit. We didn't write it.
It's not enough in it. To just have representation. Like, it's got to be well written too. And they get upset when you're not happy with
the same fucking
like,
company.
no, you got to just take everything.
Yeah. Well, this is the same fucking company that can't make a fucking Blade movie.
Yes.
Right.
And you're gonna get mad at us for saying this show sucks because it does. And they're like, well, they just can't stand seeing a black woman succeed. She doesn't succeed at anything. She literally tells the people that try to help her,
money.
Go fuck yourself. I need to be iconic. Now I'm gonna go run out in the streets and start committing crimes.
Well, the thing I find so funny about all this is that back in 2020, we had all these articles after George Floyd talking about positive black representation in entertainment. So here we have a show that's basically written by black people. We have Ryan Coogler endorsing it, producer, whatever. And what does it fill with? A bunch of negative stereotypes. It's like, and people are applauding it. And we're being called racist for pointing this out. It's like, I thought you wanted positive representation. That's not what you're getting.
And the cycle just goes over and over again. As Ryan brought up, like we went through this with fucking Blue Beetle and She-Hulk with misogyny. It just gets tired. It's you are writing this shit. not us.
Yeah.
We're just
where were all the where was the review bombing for Sinners, which just came out?
Yep.
Yes.
There wasn't, because people overwhelmingly liked it. Not everybody, but overwhelmingly people liked that movie. So shockingly, it didn't get review bombed. Well, it just happened for this one. Okay.
Yeah, it's
weird how the shit always gets review bombed. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like write another story. We had Robin Hood, and as his whole meme about that was be gay, do crime. So what did they do in this? In the first episode, like, do you have a man in here? Do you have a woman? They were sure to like, you're a parent. Do you not know by this point? You still have to ask her every week to make sure she hasn't changed. And then she just immediately does crime. Like, every single stereotype is hit in this show. Like, if I wrote it, I'm pretty sure I'd be getting arrested for a hate crime.
It's sad to me because all the things all the elements that they put in this show that seem so obviously stereotypical, like the stealing and like the overly kind of hood conversation. It seems like those are elements that are put in because they think that will get a certain type of person to watch the show, but it's just, it comes off like, no, you're just reinforcing all these stereotypes. And it's like, why don't you just, if you love your Black characters so much, give them a good, it's the stuff we've been saying all the time, give them a good original script or just something that's well done and not relying on stereotypes.
They don't like Black characters. They like victim characters. They want victim characters. That's it. They don't want Black characters. If they wanted Black characters, they would be screaming for Wesley Snipes' Blade right now. They don't want that. They don't want good Black characters. They don't want good female characters. They want good victim characters, because the moment they get a good female character, they don't pay attention to it. And I believe in reparations, by the way. Wesley Snipes deserves all the reparations, because that motherfucker should have never been put in prison. He should have absolutely been. He should have a pass for life, because he was Passenger 57 and Blade and Simon and Phoenix.
And
so reparations for Wesley Snipes. Fuck the judge that locked him up.
And if you want positive representation of Black people in entertainment, go see The Sound of Hope. That is a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Well, in this, there's a whole scene. There's a whole scene where she's not about. Well, he's like, so he's trying to talk to you about things she's interested in. So you're making a suit. So, why does everyone keep talking about this suit? It's like, well, you've dedicated your entire life to it. They're trying to be friendly. It's like, no, I could have invented a load of other stuff, but the only thing you pay attention to is this suit, and that's why I'm doing it. It's like, so she's not there to help people. It is purely, she's doing something she hates just to get like out of self-interest and to get respect or some kind of
solar-powered smoke detector. Something that'll help your community.
We need it.
I don't know. Unironically, like
not
the breakthrough technology, the amount of power
wind powered fucking
is insane.
That we know does not work.
It is as powerful as an arc reactor. That would change the friggin'
holograms out of a little necklace. There's loads of inventions she makes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and then like just as getting back to like even the previous show, the one of the defenders of this show is the guy that fucking wrote Luke Cage, a show about a Black guy who goes, hey, these Black criminals are making this neighborhood worse, so I'm gonna go deal with them. Not, hey man, we're just all held down by everybody, we need to do something about. He literally goes to war against other Black people to stop them from being criminals because they're taking advantage of people.
I think it's pretty awesome. I don't know why you guys are complaining. Whenever white liberals make movies about Black people, it's about them committing crimes and being failures. Just saying. Whenever white liberals do it,
I think it's the same thing as like when Dave Chappelle was talking about they always put Black people in dresses and shit like that. Like the same exact thing. Anytime there is a Black related thing, they're criminals. They're fucking all about woe is me. Everything's holding me down. I just need that money. If I had billions, then I would do everything else. Like,
and then
it's a fucking psyop.
They finally get paid, and the first thing they do is start shooting money guns everywhere and dancing with fucking money.
But he says,
none of them are calling up their accountants how to,
how do I
invest this money?
Invest this shit. And then the fucking hood tells him, he goes, yo, go spin frivolously.
Go
spend that cash. Come on. Whatever. And and it's wild because they do the round table scene where it's like, oh, what's your motivation? What are you doing this for? And then one girl's like, I'm gonna open a school for girls so I can launder my fucking money that I'm using for my black market explosives.
Selling bombs.
She like sets it up as if it's gonna be good and then drops.
Yeah,
You know?
and then the she-they and the fucking she-they twins are like, oh, what are you guys gonna do? Underground Fight Club. I'm like, wow, guys, real fucking original. You
It
can
takes
do
a
that
lot
with
of
no
money, that
fucking
does.
money because that's what they found you doing in the first place.
So those are the blood sibling. When they called them the blood siblings in the show, I almost fucking fell out of my chair. So it's the blood brothers, right? But now, you know, little change. They made them lesbians, and their first shot is them beating the shit out of each other. And I'm like, okay, accurate, very good.
It's like we're taking a checklist and going stereotype.
I don't think all they needed was a U-Haul in the background.
Gary, they're not lesbians. Like what they are intended to be in the show is a girl and a boy, right? But the one who's playing the one who's playing the boy is Zoe Tarakis, who is born a woman, but is a transgender, non-binary, trans feminine, whatever. So they identify as some form of masculine. So I think that's why they called them the blood siblings, because they couldn't do blood sisters.
It was in a really weird show in Wentworth. Zoe Tarakis was in a women's prison, and then there was the other way around, who was also in a women's prison, and it was like, you just subject them to everything, do you, in this place? Doesn't matter which way you're going, you're all going in the same block.
But you know what?
Just to be clear, the one who was born as a girl who thinks she's a boy now still likes girls.
Yeah.
Well, probably, but I don't
Lesbian.
know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be as accurate as I possibly can about all the goddamn Yes, we have a dude pretending to be a girl with the drag queen. We've got a girl pretending to be a boy with Zoe, whatever. Okay. One of the things that is annoying, and one of the excuses a lot of people are going to make for the show as it comes around, and what I imagine will be like it coming around the culmination of everything, is they want to have it both ways, where they're trying to show you that, well, Riri's actually really uncomfortable being a criminal, and she's uncomfortable with the crimes that they're doing. When the reality is that was her plan before she got caught up in this.
Yes.
Like they established that her plan was theft. Her plan was stealing shit. And this just became a quicker way to get that done. Right? Yeah, they're going to have her make the turn about what the bad things that they're doing, and they're going to pretend like that's her standing up to this criminal element, when in reality this was her plan all along.
The hood is drawn into
it by people.
Explicitly before she agrees. Yes, before she agrees, he explicitly says, theft, breaking and entering, all this extortion.
Yeah. I'm not even
tells her exactly what they're doing.
I'm not even talking about her agreeing to join. I'm talking about the conversation she had with Zay in the junkyard when they were picking through the stuff. And she told him that her plan was to get a job at a lab that was big enough so they wouldn't notice the things that she stole from them.
Yeah, finesse.
That's what she said before we even got one hint of introduction into the crime squad.
Right.
Hero.
Yep. I just need to be in the lab.
Hey, Garrett, it's comic book accurate. That's exactly what she did in the comic.
Hey, look at that.
They
media decided to do it once. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Media like this actually concerns me, because the whole structure of this is to reinforce this victimhood narrative, right?
Yes.
And it's like they don't want people who are struggling in life to pull themselves out, because the only way they'll pull themselves out is stop blaming other people and see what they can do to actually make their lives better. And here you have a character who's been given everything, and she has failed because of her own terrible choices, and she's blaming everything else around her and not taking any accountability at all.
I actually think that's really realistic.
That's intersectionality 101.
Yeah,
no,
but
I think it's realistic because
anything.
she got sent to Wakanda, got given a load of stuff for free. Then she got a scholarship, went to university, got a load of stuff for free. She went through all of her education system, got promoted way before anyone else in the age. So she's always been on easy street. She's always had things given to her, and she's never worked out she has to earn this stuff. So now the guy even says, you can get all this money, but it'll take a while. I just want it now, though. That's like immediately.
Which would have been a better story. I know it's so boring to have this kid who probably was given everything, but had some hard times in her personal life, and you have her, I don't know, with a little humility, maybe make her likable and overcome that. But
make her want to be a hero.
Make you want to be a hero. Like bad things happen to Peter Parker. And yes, and he had to rob shit out of the garbage and stuff too. But you know what? He was still a good dude. He was still
it's also not theft.
Yeah,
if you throw it in the bin, it's not yours anymore.
Her dad and her best friend were murdered by criminals.
Yes.
None of that is taken into account in her arc. Like she doesn't care about that. They try to sprinkle that in, but it's not really the core central reason of what she wants to do.
She's not learning from it. She's not. It's bothering her.
There clearly is a lot of trauma from that, specifically when it comes to shooting and even like
but that's not the core of what makes her a hero. She's not trying to become a hero.
There's no heroism here.
There's no heroism.
There's none
I mean, if you look at it, she kind of has like the Spider-Man Bruce Wayne origin story, right? She lost a loved one, and that's that should be her motivation for wanting to make the world a better place, but it's not.
It is not. It's surface level.
That should have made her hate crime and hate criminals instead of becoming.
She should be subverting this group of criminals. That should be a plan. Infiltrate, subvert, take them down. But she's not. She's absolutely 100% on board. She just wants that money. Every time, like Ryan said, she tries to show something, she shoots herself down immediately afterwards, just through greed, and greed. All she cares about is herself. All she cares about is beating Tony Stark's legacy. This is a villain. There is no other way around it. This is the full origin story of a villain. This is not a hero. Why would anybody who's tuning in want to support this person?
Like, it's repulsive. Like, the thing that I love about the superhero genre is the ideals, that heroism. And Spider-Man is the perfect example. He is a hero because he has great power, comes great responsibility, and being a hero makes his life hell. But he knows that it's the right thing to do, and that is inspiring. And this awful, loathsome character is the polar opposite, where she wants to be, she wants glory, she wants money, she wants it now, and she's going to make this suit just for her own selfish ends. I can't say she's loathsome. I want this character to die.
Again, that's villain motivations.
No, it's not. It's not. To get anything in life, you have to work for it. But she sees it the same way. Well, if we don't have equal outcomes, then there's discrimination. That's the way she's looking at the world. So Tony Stark's got $1 billion. And she's like, well, I'm as smart as him, but I don't have $1 billion. Therefore, something evil must be happening to me. So I will just steal. Because if I have $1 billion, I'll be the same as him.
Equity.
Isn't she a product of her? Isn't she a product of all the adults around her and her environment and how she was raised? If that's how she believes, in a sense, it's like.
Well, even the teacher does point that out. She goes, maybe we gave you too much freedom. Maybe we should have been way more strict on you. The thing is, the B plots of this show, her, and the trauma from watching loved ones die and not being able to help them, interesting, like, and then the other B plot that not a lot of people talk about is her and Obadiah Stane's son, and the fact that he basically like meets this girl, and then all of a sudden now he can't stop inventing shit. He's like, yo, I got all these ideas in my head, and meeting you and watching you invent shit kind of activated my brain. Now I can't stop inventing things, and I want to do something better than what my dad did. She goes,
he wants to help
fucking
people.
Great. Yeah, she's like, I want to steal your shit, though.
Yeah. And the story should be around Natalie and her. That should be the story. Because Natalie was shot down, and she couldn't protect her. Now Natalie is the AI protecting her. So that should have been the story, and the acceptance from Riri and Natalie is that the roles were, I couldn't protect you, I couldn't save you, but the Natalie AI is just like, it's okay, I'm here to save you.
Yeah,
and that should be the fundamental fucking root of
there's
this
an
story.
excruciating amount of time spent between her and Natalie that could have been done in 15 minutes, and it's fucking boring, and it's terrible, and it goes nowhere. And yes, the Natalie AI is like more likable than Riri, far more likable.
She's more evil. She murders a guy at the end of episode 3.
She is. She absolutely is. They both are. They both murdered a guy at the end.
Riri was unconscious. Yeah.
Well, the existentialism of having an AI best friend who doesn't have the morals of your best friend because she's a fucking AI.
Well, she has Riri's morals.
From her brain.
She goes, I'm not dead, and then realizes she's dead and goes, cool. Anyways, we should hang out and be friends. She's like, you're not real. And she's like, will you stop saying that? That's not important. Like, that's some really existential shit going on with this AI that it refuses to even acknowledge it's not the person that it looks like, Look,
there's a super easy way to, like, if this was the thing that got turned in and people reviewing this, there's easy ways to fix this, right? You dedicate the first episode to having Riri constantly talk about how she wants to help people, how she saw her dad and best friend or her stepdad and best friend gunned down, and she wants to help clean up the streets. She wants to save people. There's not enough firefighters. Like you can talk about all the stuff that she wants to do to help people. And she's trying to get it done the right way. She's trying to do these things, and it just falls through for some reason. Not the peak victimhood mentality stuff, but for some reason, it just can't happen, right? And she gets sent back. And then she's talking to Xavier about that, how she wants to do better for everyone. And then this opportunity presents itself to make the money, right? To get in with this group and make the money. And even though her goal is to help people, she wants to, she justifies it in her head. A lot of people are telling her not to do this. A lot of people are saying, no, that's not you, but she does it anyway. And then she realizes the mistake, turns on him, whatever. The problem is we didn't get the first part of that fucking story. The first part of the story was about her wanting to steal this shit, about her wanting to be recognized instead of wanting to be an actual hero. And that's the problem.
And it's a problem. It's there inherently because the writer's worldview. The writer's worldview will not allow that to happen because they have no concept of it whatsoever. And these writers were hired based completely on their identity and not their talent.
And it's like, look, we have Ant-Man in the MCU. And that's not my favorite movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in Ant-Man, you have Scott, who is a criminal, right? Is a thief, got locked up, put in jail, served his time, and now he's trying to live the right way. Right. And he's trying to live the right way, but he can't hold down a job because he's trying to live the right way. He's trying to be honest. Doesn't work out. He gets fired from fucking Baskin Robbins, right? And he starts getting a lot of pressure because he can't pay his child support. He can't do this. He's worried about his daughter. He's worried about his family. And he gets convinced to do one last thing, step back into the life, and he gets entrapped by Hank Pym to do so. Right. But there you have an element where you do have somebody who's shown trying to do things the right way. Yeah. Right. And then makes a mistake, gets drawn back into it for some reason. Riri start out, we're introduced to her not doing things the right way. We're introduced to her, even while she's still at MIT, like selling off projects to other kids to get there for their projects and everything. Everything we've seen about her, she's not trying to do it the right way ever.
No.
Yeah.
100%. This is a terrible fucking show because it's a villain origin story.
And if the show ends that way, that'd be great.
And Marvel knew it was terrible and that's why it was the shortest amount of time between a trailer, a live action trailer, and the project's release date in Marvel's history. It was probably the least marketed thing I've seen them ever do. Ever. Wow. And they didn't want to go full Echo with it, so they decided to release it all within 8 days, technically, within a week.
Mercy.
So mercy. God damn, it's a mercy on everybody. It is. Well, that's what I thought about when the credits rolled. I'm like, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
It's not 50 minutes long.
I want the third episode. It's the longest of all three, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. I mean, I'm not doing 3 videos on this. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. I'm getting this one and done.
Dude.
I got a whole.
Come on, Gary, it's content.
So you can build your suit.
Come on, man.
I made a nice long, I made a nice long 20-minute video. That's all good. That's like 3 videos for a lot of people. So
yeah,
there you go.
I'll be honest, man, I love the show. It is awful, and I am fucking loving it.
Oh, it's easy to meme. It's like I had more clips than I knew what to do. I had to save shit for the next video for the second half of the season. I'm like, I got some. I better save it for the next one.
We were talking about that.
I'm sure there'll be more than enough then. One of the reviews mentioned her making a Faustian bargain, which, considering we know who's coming in, just seems like she's going to be dealing with the literal devil at the end.
Well, Mephisto is basically the devil, and all these contracts, sorry, spoilers, these people are signing over their souls, essentially. So that's probably what's happening.
She's going to do it too.
That's why he needed the guy to sign the contract.
I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be in Doomsday. That has not been confirmed. So
my favorite part is people that are like, you don't know, the show's not over yet. She could get better.
Well,
I'm like,
here's the problem. Here's the problem with all this. When you introduce all these characters, you have. I mean, like, you can't erase them unless you can do a Secret Wars and erase everything. But you can't erase, like, people have already seen this. They know it's out there. You know what? The thing is, a lot of people aren't going to see this show, but a lot of people are going to hear about how bad it is. And that's still brand damage, right? Not everybody saw every DC flop, obviously, because they were all flops out there, but they're all aware of them. And they're all aware of, like, man, didn't they just have, dude, I was in the theater for F1. This is anecdotal, but I'm in a theater for a pretty full theater for F1. Superman trailer pops up, and dude just says out loud, "Another Superman movie."
They were screwed.
We started laughing. But yeah, like that's people still, when they become aware of this, they're exasperated at this point, and it doesn't help. And it would have been better to just fucking shit can it. It would have been far better to shit can it. You would be in a better position to succeed in the future. And this is just another chip at it. And I know there's all the review bombing that Ryan mentioned earlier is going both ways, and it's just it's crazy. But it's always like the audience score for a movie will always be higher if it's a major flop, because most people have dipped out. Most people are gone. So what you're getting reviews from are the people who actually want to see it at some point.
So like, for instance, Snow White, after we have witnessed 2 years worth of backlash and most people saying, I'm not going to go watch that piece of shit. It's not shocking to believe that of the people that did go to see it, the $200 million box office that it was, that around 75 to 80% of the people that actually held out that long were like, yeah, it wasn't too bad. It actually seems like it makes sense.
But with this one, there was some fuckery going on with, it was at 32% before the show came out. All right. The audience score was at 32% before the show came out.
And for a while after. Yes.
And for a while after. And then it popped up to, I saw it at 70%. I mean, like, Rotten Tomatoes has been full of shit since they changed the algorithm for Captain Marvel. I mean, everybody covered it. Everybody made videos. Jeremy, I think, made about 20. It's kind of, but they haven't been trustworthy since then, especially with movies. Like with TV shows in the past, they haven't really paid that much attention because there's no way to verify it. But they're not a good gauge. There's no way to have a good gauge for that. Nobody's watching Ironheart. They have it releasing at 3 episodes, so we'll see if it charts or not. I have my doubts that it will chart. I think more people are watching people's videos than giving a shit about this show. It is definitely Marvel's Acolyte. It's not going to hit the stratosphere like Acolyte, but it is as bad.
There's still time. There's still time.
There's not enough.
Come on, season 2.
How many more episodes are there? 3 more.
Three.
So there is still time for this to get cringe levels, man.
I had depending on. I think depending on what else is coming out, right? That's a huge factor in something charting, right? Because something could have 300 million minutes watched, and on 1 week that could have been good enough for like the 3rd biggest original streaming, and on another week that's kind of more full of releases, it might not show up at all.
Yeah.
Well, now it's
up against Squid Game. Yeah, I forgot Squid Game came out today.
I've watched the first 2 episodes.
But remember, this show is number 1 on Disney Plus right now.
Because it's the only thing. Like in the same way that Captain America Brave New World, when that comes to Disney Plus, it's the only new thing on Disney Plus for like a week.
Disney Plus is really light on content.
It's very light. It's a skeleton service. Like all they have is the old stuff. And honestly, they should probably stop making original things for it because people don't watch the original things.
Yeah. And I think eventually they will. I think they're going to dial it down and just bleed it into Hulu. Because Hulu, which has technically less subscribers than Disney Plus, believe it or not, gets far more viewership. Paramount's fucking killing them. With Mobland and Landman, they're destroying them with
actually made content.
Well, they actually make good stuff. Yeah.
But they make actual television rather than movies which have been stretched into a series.
Yeah. Ironheart was really, really fucking bad, and it was really ill-advised to actually release it. And Marvel's, and I mentioned in my video, I'm pretty sure Marvel was convinced after their big change they would have at least 1 win so they could sneak Ironheart in, and that didn't happen. That hasn't happened, and it's not looking good for Fantastic Four.
No, it's not.
Well, all these guys were negative. I'm going to bring some positivity.
Okay.
Because I had a good experience with Ironheart, because what I did is not watched it and watched The Waterfront on Netflix, which is really good. And that was my experience, because fuck Marvel. and fuck all of these woke shows. So that was my recommendation, is to just not watch this piece of shit.
You should have made a video. I walked out of my house on Ironheart.
I'm having a positive experience with the show. Dude, I really wish I would have done that.
Jeremy, I would believe.
Do a car review.
I would believe what you said if it wasn't for the fact that World War III is making you fucking bum everything so far. So
hell yeah.
If World War III wasn't going on, then you'd be like,
wait, I want to talk about the month.
No, I'm pissed about World War III because I want to be playing Mario Kart. That's all I fucking want to do.
Let's discuss that real quick. Okay, so the month of June, we had Temu Civil War and Temu World War III, and by the way, it was totally disappointing. It had contrived events, contrived characters, a weak antagonist, and the ending was completely disappointment. There was no World War III. And I know they're trying to
12 days, Gary.
Yeah, but it did cancel Pride Month. So we now have two examples of how to erase Pride Month. We just have a mini Civil War.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
we just do that every year.
I mean, there's
move on.
It's like, all right, I guess it's War
Pride
Month.
Pride Month used to be. Remember when it used to be just a weekend at the end of June, and
yes,
that's so San Francisco. Like when they would have their Pride Month, I would go camping. I would just get the fuck out of town. Go have fun days.
That's a
gay around here.
Words, cottaging.
I would go
with
camping.
my cottaging. What the fuck is cottaging? Cottaging sounds sexual.
Cottaging is the gay version of dogging. Yeah, cottaging is the gay version of dogging.
Okay, well, camping with my family. I would go out. I would get out of town. Okay.
Fine, you're all gay feminine.
Here in America, when you go camping, that's a manly thing.
Visit Clarkson's pub.
No, what do you call it? No, you call it caravanning. When you go camping. It's caravanning. No, it's
caravanning.
I mean, it depends if you're in a caravan.
Yeah,
That's
if you got a caravan, then
it's a camper. It's not a caravan. It's a camper.
No, from what I've seen of campers, they are far better than our caravans. Like, you have luxury stuff.
Dude, look at your trucks. I mean, like your lorries, your little teeny fucking Tonka trucks that fucking Taco.
Wow.
I was having a mini stroke there.
Because we have tiny roads.
Yeah, they need to. The roads are like your double lane roads is as wide as our single lane roads in Australia.
Every time I go to America, someone asks what's my favorite thing about it, and I feel like the roads. The roads are just so amazing compared to ours. You have like 3 lanes minimum everywhere. What was it? It happened.
No,
I think, Lady G's truck, and they went, "This is a small car parking space." Like, it was massive of space on either side of a truck, and we have you can barely fit a mini into it.
Yes,
America.
If you drive in, you can't open the door.
15 lane freeways. Fuck yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, look at all
80 mile an hour speed limits in West Texas. Fuck yeah.
As long as the eye can see.
Look at all this room I got. Just build it bigger.
Hell yeah. So, Ironheart really sucks, and I can't wait to talk about it next week when it finishes up. And it is, you know what? It sucks, but it I get a ton of enjoyment watching shit like this.
Oh, yeah.
Rosie, it's so much fun.
It is fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's so much like Robin Hood 2, where Robin Hood was such a villain that they had to just randomly have the guy flood an entire city at the end to find someone worse. Yeah. And they've done the same thing in Ironheart. She's already a criminal that no one can stand, so they're introducing Satan because he's the only person that is more evil than Ironheart.
He will be more likable. He will be more likable than Riri Williams.
What do we have?
Okay, but the nerd in me gets so fucking angry that they're fucking introducing Mephisto, who is a Thanos level fucking villain, top tier fucking villain for the MCU in the stupidest fucking show. And even Zeke Stain, who's a much better villain in the comic books, they make him this little ineffectual. Please don't poop on my lawn. It's like fuck off.
I could not
stealing all of his stuff. He doesn't even kill her.
Yeah, why was he helping her? She didn't even really threaten him. She didn't have weapon or anything.
Because he's fucking lonely.
Did you see the height difference?
He's an incel, Shad. He was an incel. That's what he fucking was.
Either that or he really likes black girls, and he was like, oh.
He got bullied.
Where are all the black women at?
He got bullied by a 45-year-old white mom just 2 minutes before he met Riri. So it's not shocking to me that with that establishment of his character that he would bend over and do whatever she wants.
Right. But I'm gonna defend this annoying fucking woke white women in a neighborhood. They clean up their dog poop. They don't fucking. Yeah. They're Nazis about that shit.
Yeah, they're the ones calling you.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I thought he was gonna go over to her house and like blow it up or something crazy, and he just
thought he was gonna flowers. Her lawn.
Cuts the flowers. Yeah.
He thought, I'm gonna cut her flowers.
That was the end of an episode. Wasn't it?
That was the drop.
It was the end of an episode that was supposed to be. This is all leading up to his character development of cutting some flowers in our front yard. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
I thought it was leading up to something, like he was gonna, I don't know, write a word in the flower bed. By
Chad, it was, and you're just media illiterate. You don't understand that was character development.
You don't understand. It's a character arc. She's gonna change over time. You know, you gotta.
So when she sat in prison,
characters in shows.
When she sat in prison,
you know, Tony Stark sold weapons.
That's legal as a company.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy were kind of bad guys too, you know. It's like,
media literacy.
Well, my favorite part is when they're trying to say that him blowing up terrorists is the same thing as her basically murdering this dude.
Yeah. Tony's like, I found out they're using my weapons like to, fund terrorist cells, and she's like, I just watch people die right in front of me and then like lie about it later. So, yeah.
Well, she's part of the team, so she's a murderer because he murdered the guy. She's a murderer. She's part of the team. You are all equally responsible for every crime which occurs when you're in a team of criminals. She's a two-time murderer.
She's accessory to 3 separate murders now because she sat there when they all happened and then didn't intervene. Well, for the 2 she didn't intervene in at all. She watches the hood choke a guy out. She just stands there. She's like, man, when he comes back, I'm stealing a piece of that hood.
It's a far better arc with her AI, though, because that AI is her. And so she was like kind of unconscious. She couldn't control it. But the AI is still her. So she made the decision, essentially, or she thought her friend would. And they could have had this whole thing where the friend's like, well, I wouldn't have killed them. Why did I just let him die? You did this to me. And so now you've got interaction between the AI. It's like, well, I can't even seek you out because you're making me do stuff that I would never do.
This is consequences. But she can't, though, because she could have taken over the fucking AI at that point and said, no, we're going to help this guy.
Yeah, go back, open the door.
She just didn't regret it afterwards.
It still happened. They still had plenty of time to do it. And she was also under their, like, we'll finish up the conversation, but she's directly responsible or doesn't do anything about 2 deaths. All right.
Yeah.
So when she's cutting the piece of the cloak off, that guy just fucking dies there. Now, can she beat the hood? Probably not. But like a hero would probably try to do something.
Yes.
She had a laser pen.
Had a laser,
she had a fucking laser pen. She could, and no, she just lets the dude fucking die and just goes,
the only thing that she's concerned about at the end of the show isn't because people have died and she's been responsible for the deaths. She's fucking crying because she left her fucking shit there and could be identified.
And she could get caught. She's only afraid of getting caught.
I would have.
What if her stuff did she leave there?
She left a laser
pen, and she left the mesh skin that's going to get back to Zeke.
That's going to get back to Zeke.
But the one thing I would have a ton of respect for is if Marvel just embraced that she's a terrible person.
Yes.
And at the end, she signs a contract with Mephisto and she becomes the leader of the Dark Avengers. And that's what they're trying to set up. Is like a full-on villain league of Avengers that Mephisto is like running. I would have been like, that would have been great. I would have so much fucking respect. The Chocolate Avengers, they're all black. They get Luke Cage back, and he's like, "Yo, I'm a gangster now."
Hello, black people.
The weird thing is,
fellow blacks, like, hello. Yeah.
The weird thing is, they kind of have pitched it as that because there's a whole thing about how this is just like Breaking Bad. All of them are villains. She's actually having her go back
like Breaking Bad.
That's a quote. That's from one of the creators.
It's about as much as like Breaking Bad as Rings of Power was. Okay, so
if only she did horrible things to horrible people, you could let her get away with it.
Yeah. If it's a villain origin story, it kind of makes sense.
No, and it works, and I'm fine with them doing that.
Okay. Again, there was a clip. This is when we were talking about the lead up to Ironheart from last week. It's from a clip that made the rounds on Black TikTok and it got reacted to, and I've been getting these lovely emails like, well, yeah, dude, it's
love your channel.
It's like, what Ryan said, like this happens every
Who
fucking
you talking to, Cracker? Who you think
I can read some later, but
please.
The reason, and as Ryan said, like this shit happens every 6 months now, and it's like, it's just we handle it the way we handle it. You have fun with it. But that wasn't the most controversial thing that happened that I witnessed anyway. I mean, just some death threats. Let's talk about Superman.
Fuck, all right, can someone explain this to me, because this thing went under my radar. I wasn't following it. I saw the clip and made me think, okay, crypto is going to ruin this film, definitely. But that's as far as I got with it. What are people getting bent out of shape about?
It's the pro Snyder fans. It's the pro James Gunn fans. It's the anti James Gunn fans. It's DC fandom in a nutshell. DC fandom is far worse than Marvel. Not even close.
Literally.
Just mentally.
Worse, you mean people care a lot more.
Yeah, I wouldn't say worse. They're more passionate.
Hang on. When I mean worse, I mean the passion of DC fandom is far outweighs the passion of Marvel fandom.
Like it always has. Have been around longer. People have been talking about this longer. Yeah.
Yes. And Superman in general. So you have, again, I just saw it today. I saw a tweet that's kind of had some decent traction. And it's like, Michael Bay kicked off of Transformers. They remake Transformers. Transformers fails. Michael Bay returns to Transformers. Boys, Zack Snyder is returning to DC at some point. Like, the Snyder fans are going to justify any way, and that's fine. I appreciate that they're so passionate. And then you have the James Gunn side of things, and James Gunn has done his own damage to all of this by he has definitely fanned the flames on all of this. He knows what he's doing.
For me, for that clip, I saw a lot more. Like, I don't think it was, I'm sure there's a lot of Snyder people, like gun people, whatever. I saw a lot more people in our space, people aren't Snyder, whatever, just saying, this is ridiculous. Superman would never act like that. He's acting like a whiny brat. He's like an emotional man-child. I saw a lot of that shit out there. And then I saw a lot of other people with opposite take. For me, that clip, two things can be true. We have seen Superman get emotional and get upset, especially when people he cares about are in trouble or being threatened or whatever. We've seen it in comics. We've seen it in television. We've seen it in the movies. However, because so much of the marketing of this, yes, we've had little heroic moments and a one-line or two from Superman, but in terms of the dialogue, the most extensive dialogue sequences we've heard are him having a meltdown with Lois.
Yeah.
Now him having a meltdown with Lex. So I do think you can look at those, and you know what? In context, it might be perfectly fine, but that is a lot of what we've seen from the movie is that version of Superman, very emotional at the time.
My problem with
it, I think it's okay to like have these criticisms because that's what they've shown us. On the other hand, Superman does burst into people's offices, including Lex Luthor's office, if he's fucking pissed about it.
He goes off a lot.
I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think I made a tweet on it, and I got fucking people really mad about it. And I just said, like, I just want a fucking good Superman. Like this, with every piece of marketing, it makes me less and less interested in the movie. And people just went off on their own arguments in their head. You know, it's Twitter, it's what they do. But they thought I was having a problem with him bursting in and having like an emotional reaction. It's not that. It's the acting, the high pitch.
It's like, not the concept. It's the execution.
Yes, dude. People are too fucking sensitive. Like, I love the fucking Nolan trilogy. We meme on Where's the Trigger because it's a fucking terrible fucking scene. It's okay. It's a terrible scene. And that reminded me of Where's the Trigger, and it also reminded me of Kylo Ren. He went Kylo Ren emo baby in that scene. That's what it felt like. And the execution was terrible.
There's a way that Superman could like bust in and be like,
"Where's love Lex Luthor in that scene?" By the way,
especially when he gets a coffee cup, when he sees the tables going, and he just grabs it.
And he's set this up to make Superman look like shit, right? Like this is what Lex is doing. He's making sure they're filming all this stuff. But Jeremy, you replied, everything about this scene is terrible. That's what you said on Twitter, right?
Yes.
But you don't believe that about Lex, right?
Well, no, I mean, like in isolation, that's fine. But I still look at it like he again, without the context of it, it's just that he doesn't even give a fuck that Superman's there. He doesn't even give a shit, you know? And it's just like Superman is in the beta position completely in almost every scene we've seen in this movie. He's never in command or in control or showing any confidence in almost any of the scenes that we're seeing. I'm not saying every, but the majority of scenes that we've seen, he seems to be emotionally upset or he seems to be the person that's not in control of the situation. And that's what bothers me. Like, yeah, Lex is fine in that, but I'm not watching a Lex Luthor movie. I'm watching a fucking Superman movie. And every scene, Superman seems to be emotionally distraught.
The way the line read, the way his voice just kind of cracks, and it just doesn't. It sounds beta to me. Like I want Superman to be, even if he blows his top, like he's still a fucking man. He's still Superman.
He's super emotional.
Like just on that note, Garrett, the great contrast to this is when Superman confronts Lex Luthor in the Christopher Reeves first Superman movie. That's where he drops the line, "You diseased maniac," where he goes into, the actual layer, and he is angry, but he is manly in that.
He's measured.
Right?
Mike, go ahead, Mike.
Well, to Jeremy's point, there's a reason why in every single trailer that they've released, they show the scene of him saving the little girl, because everyone universally agreed that was a Superman scene.
Exactly.
That's Superman that we want to see. It's him saving people. But also, for people fighting about this and arguing about it, we have 3 separate examples that are prominent in Lois and Clark, in Christopher Reeve's Superman, and in the animated series, where he confronts Lex and Lex keeps his calm and Superman's pissed. We literally have a scene where Superman and Lois and Clark shoots a gun at Lex Luthor to show him that he can catch the bullet before he dies. Like,
that's a great scene. That
it's a great scene, and we've seen the dynamic. So when we watch this scene, knowing that we have examples of this in the past, it doesn't feel right, because Superman feels like an unhinged maniac, and not in the way that we know Superman is capable of. Because one of the things that Superman does consistently is reminds Lex that you may not like me and you may be getting under my skin, but I'm still Superman, and that pisses you off. One of the last lines that Superman uses in Lois and Clark is to remind him to look up, because it's the one thing that Lex hates, is that everyone has to look up at him, and he has to look up at Superman.
It goes back to Ryan's original point about one of the trailers, the full trailer, about how they could have presented it. It was the one with the interview started out, and how it started out emotionally. And I can't remember word for what you said, Ryan, but you're basically like how they would have presented it if he would have been saving people, if he would have been doing things heroic. And then it shifts into this where he's frustrated with the situation because he is the hero and he's doing the good, but no one really understands that. So it shows the reason why he might be frustrated, but that's not how it was presented. So I will continue to say, I thought the Man of Steel trailers were the best trailers I'd ever seen to date. Yes. And I went into that movie, and everybody knows I don't like that movie. I'm hoping that I get the reverse. I'm hoping that these trailers have disappointed me, but I go into this movie blown away. It can't happen, because I was not convinced I was going to dislike Man of Steel based on the greatest trailers I've ever seen for any movie. And I was. So I'm hoping that I have the reverse effect here.
Well, the issue with this scene is that it's so shallow, because what you're focusing on is Superman's emotions and losing it. So in Superman and Lois, there are multiple times where someone pisses him off, they go after his family, and he goes up and he's like, there's this calm, smoldering rage. And you can tell that he can do anything he wants to them, but he only uses the force that's required. And so they know they're overpowered. They know they can't stop him, but he's also really calm. And it's the quiet person who can dominate you, which is more scary. Whereas when you have Lex's side, there's actually a lot more to his scene. There's a whole bit in Wheel of Time which describes power dynamics behind chairs, on chairs, behind desks and stuff. So when he's sitting down and there's a desk in front of him, Superman is standing up, which puts him in the inferior position. The moment the desk goes, now you're looming over a guy, so you're in the inferior position. So he stands up and calmly faces him eye to eye. And all that time, Superman is coming across like a child because he can't control his emotions. If Superman walked into that place calm but still destroyed things, or just like took the desk and crushed it, it would have an entirely different effect.
Well, that's exactly like the Lois and Clark scene, and I'm glad Mike brought it up. Like when he says, "You want to see how fast I am, Luthor?" and he holds the gun, shoots, and then grabs the bullet. That's great.
Yeah, Lex is terrified because he's like, "Oh shit, she's gonna shoot me." Yeah.
I'm convinced that they just keep picking the worst takes of Cornswell.
Well, I mean,
like that's what it seems like in the trailers.
I have no problem with him as the actor.
And I hope he's great. Like I do.
I hope he's great too. But really this is obviously the most scrutinized movie in a long fucking time, because it's another remake of Superman, and the biggest question has been from the beginning: can James Gunn make Superman? Because James Gunn is a little edgelord. James Gunn is the kind of guy who would see Superman as Homelander. He's never. You can't tell me James Gunn's been a lifelong Superman fan. James Gunn probably thought Superman was fucking lame before. I know
more Lex Luthor
knowing the kind of comics that he was into, he was definitely like, Superman's lame. So, and he said it himself. He couldn't crack it. He was offered the job before, and he's all, I can't crack Superman, which means you don't understand it. We had Mark Miller on this fucking channel, and he said, oh, Superman's easy. That's the kind of motherfucker you want writing Superman.
Yes,
somebody going,
absolutely.
I understand this character, and it's easy. And Hollywood and even DC has had a hard time with it when they've had people in the building who can totally handle writing Superman correctly. You want him to be human. That's fine. People are comparing the Man of Steel, the John Byrne stuff when he's breaking in the office. Well, the context is different. Maybe the context works with Crypto. Crypto's like his last connection to Krypton. So, it's not just a dog. Although, you know what? Somebody goes after my dog, I'd be pretty pissed too. But
he says you'd be a man about it. You'd be a man about it.
Yeah. So
that's the problem.
That's the thing. To me, it is a marketing mistake to show this many instances of Superman like this.
Yeah.
Now, I fully think that within context, 100% I could be perfectly fine with this sequence, right? Especially if this and the Lois sequence are happening kind of similar times, maybe in the middle-ish part of the movie where you're seeing some of these frustrations boil over. I could be completely fine with it in context and maybe only have a handful of instances in the movie where he lets his emotions get the better of him like this. But when you're showed so much, such a high percentage of this from the marketing, because the only two real dialogue sequences we have are this and the Lois interview scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, it's just a little one line. Hey, buddy, look up. Little things here or there. That's it.
For me,
wait, hang on. So to finish my point, no, it's all right. It's all right. It's cool. It's Friday Night Tights. I don't give a shit.
It's what we do.
With James Gunn, the marketing has been terrible. Like it has been objectively terrible marketing things. And we're trying to give it context. And while we're not criticizing this for stupid race or gender swaps, we still want this to be a good movie. The problem is all the word that we've gotten from people who've seen it, not the shills who saw it last night, but is pretty mixed bag. That it's a pretty mixed bag. It's a little convoluted. That's pretty much the general consensus. Some people are liking it for it. Some people aren't, but it can't be a James Gunn movie. It has to be, James Gunn has to kind of rise above. It can't be a Guardians of the Galaxy. This needs to be a Superman movie, which puts it on another level. This is the number one. This is the G superhero, right? Yeah. And you can't just come in with it's okay, and this little whimsical stuff. I'm fine with them leaning into comic book shit. I'm actually for it. I've been dying to see this with a Superman movie going into some Silver Age stuff, some Bronze Age stuff. Let's fucking go. I'm ready to see this. But you still have to portray Superman like a man. Like a man.
So are you saying it's almost like you have to put your ego aside and make it less stylized just to kind of give Superman his due?
James Gunn, well, this is Superman's James Gunn, but he's a hired gun on this. He still is. That's all he is playing in somebody else's sandbox with a lot of people who put in a lot of time to make this character popular for decades, almost 100 years. This character has been around. And, this is the kind of respect you need to show. It's like, I am second to Superman, but it's James Gunn obviously is putting himself up front and his style up front. And it bothers me saying that he couldn't crack this character until just a couple of years ago.
Because
really?
Because of
James
the
Gunn's writing as a writer and all of his stuff, he tells you there are a lot of self-inserts. He goes, I put this into the movie because of this, or I made this character like this because I had a friend that was like this in high school. He put crypto
social
in
media
it
cancellation.
He talks about it all the time in his writing, and he talks about that he's a control freak and that he doesn't like other people affecting his writing or affecting or controlling the way he does things. He also has admitted that he likes to be petty and take shots at people when he writes. All of those things are criticisms.
Yeah, we've seen over the years.
And if you're going to be the leader of DC and you're going to be rebuilding this new universe, and you like Gary said, you can't crack the fucking Superman story, then you get somebody that can crack fucking Superman story, because you hold the keys to the kingdom. Nobody else is making you do anything. You find somebody that can do it right and then give them the reins to it. But I think that the reality is James Gunn has too much ego and he's too much of a control freak, and everything has to go through him. And everything has to look the way he wants it to look. And I think he probably did have people giving him pitches. And he went, you know what? No, I'm just going to do it myself. Even though he didn't want to. And if you look at him in the marketing and behind the scenes, he looks fucking exhausted. He looks like he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to do this.
In one of the advertisements, they're all handing out drinks and he's just like frozen. But I'm not even sure that Hollywood can do this, because there was an article recently about Pedro. This is the masculinity that we all want. You can't have that masculinity.
No. I was thinking about that too.
50-year-old bougie bitch. He would be so emotional he couldn't be Superman. But the issue with Superman is he has to be stoic. He has to be a man, because otherwise Lex is correct. If he is emotional and can lose it at any time, you can't have a man that can destroy the planet on an emotional tantrum. And so he has to be in control at all times. He can be angry, but he still has to show that he's in control of that anger.
Yep. Yeah. And you know, I'm at a point. Sorry, I'm at a point with all the marketing, and Gary's right. The marketing is just made it seem worse and worse and worse. Where from the very first trailer, I think we all said, like, maybe Superman being broken and battered will make sense in context. And then his arguing with Lois with a monster destroying things out in the back. Maybe that'll make sense in context. Maybe him losing his crap and being overly emotional with Lois will make sense in context. Maybe him acting like a child with Lex now. Well, I'm at a point where I've said it too much. This film is losing all that charity where you've made it look horrible to me. Yeah. And...
dude, as Ryan has pointed out, the cinematographer from Flash is obvious on this one, and some of the stuff just doesn't look. I saw it in a theater too. The flying scene with that fisheye lens or whatever the fuck is going, it looks terrible. It looks comical.
Have they changed that now?
No,
yeah, no, it wasn't in the film.
They changed the eye, but no, like you still like they have this weird fisheye lens when he's flying. It's like Warlock, and it bends and it makes his head look big, and it's supposed to make it look kind of kinetic, but it doesn't look dynamic. And when Superman's flying to the rescue and you were like, yeah, let's go. No, it's like, oh, what the fuck is he flying through? It looks like he's flying through a wormhole and he's being twisted around or something like that. That aesthetically, it doesn't look good.
No, and like compare that to, look, you say what you want about the film. In Man of Steel, when Superman flies that and he just breaks this down barrier, freaking great. That was just like perfect.
Feels powerful. Superman should feel powerful.
I mean, because when the little rocks start to float, when it's about to burst off, and then just roars through the sky, and the sonic boom, that was awesome.
Too bad the rest of the movie sucked.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about Superman, one of the things I do like about this movie is that it does feel like for this movie we're back to having normal conversations.
Yes, 100%.
We're superhero related. Superman act this way, with Lex act this way, like all that shit. Which those are things we've always talked about.
Dude, this goes back to the comic shop days 20 fucking years ago when Daredevil came out, and like these are normal just like ripping it apart, but like for the context of the story, for character representation, not like representation.
It's like the people that have been having to go to all for Ironheart when they've got past all the racist white people. They've all said,
why do they
care? Why do they care about this goofy shit? And I'm like,
gotcha,
motherfucker,
gotcha
right there.
I saw somebody replied to me and said, "You guys nerded out too much. You're never going to be able to enjoy it." You motherfucker. You tourist piece of shit. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Nerded out too much.
What is? Yeah. And once again, like the thing is, the immediate go-to is you either hate James Gunn or you love Zack Snyder's stuff. And it's like, no, we have way more examples of Superman being awesome than fucking Henry Cavill Superman. And that's what everybody's kind of basing this off. And the thing is, so is James Gunn. He knows that this is an amalgamation of as many Superman properties as he can get. That's why he didn't even come up with his own original theme, because he needs you and he needs as many people as he can to relate to this Superman from their Superman. Oh, that feels like my Superman. That's what I love about this, instead of trying to do something of his own. And that's why I really do think this movie is going to be a critique of people not liking Superman but like the fans and their arguments about it. I think it's a meta commentary on what people feel about Superman, not about this universe and what the world feels about Superman, which is why I think he's already been around for 3 years, because people have already made up their minds what he is in that universe. It's us that we're the litmus test for whether or not Superman works. So
we'll find out. At least they're considering comic book fans in this one, which Marvel has given up on a long fucking time ago. So we'll see.
One of the things we can agree on is, regardless if James Gunn's Superman is good, successful, or whatever, is that Batman versus Superman sucks donkey balls. Okay,
hate you, Jeremy.
Just want to make sure we can all unify around that.
This is why you came here today.
Fuck that movie.
Hey, we got some Batman news.
Yeah.
Just
Plan B. Just time for the release of Superman. We got some Batman.
Yeah, we got some Batman news.
Yeah.
The contingency is out. It's finished.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that World War III started and ended before we got the Batman 2. Okay.
So, that's good work. That's good.
Winter didn't come out. Okay.
No, it didn't. But the Batman script is done. That doesn't mean it isn't going to require some rewrites, and we got to get but apparently going in production in January. So hopefully it's The Dark Knight Returns, because it's pretty much the end of Batman at this point.
Well,
Robert Pattinson will be 60.
You said it correctly. You weren't joking. This is literally showing this is the contingency if this film fails.
Yes.
If Superman fails, we're going straight to production with Batman.
Yeah.
It's going to come out. You like Batman, remember?
Yeah.
Well, so you know what's wild is Robert Pattinson is going to be basically the same age that Ben Affleck was in Batman v Superman. When they start filming the Batman 2, which is supposed to be like right after his second year as Batman.
That is
that's a long year.
That's nuts.
So right now
he's 39.
What do we like? Okay, so the James Gunn's universe, what is officially connected to his Superman?
Peacemaker,
Supergirl, Creature Commandos.
Clayface is in production.
Clayface is not going to be connected to
Lanterns.
Pattinson Batman is not connected at this point.
That's
right?
an Elseworld.
It's an Elseworld, and Clayface is an Elseworld.
You should go ask him on Threads, though, Jeremy. He's never asked.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm down for Elseworlds. If they keep doing this like Elseworlds kind of thing, dropping stuff that are outside of it, branding it that way.
They're supposed to be doing the Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold is if there wasn't a fucking DCU.
So Brave and the Bold is supposed to be that's supposed to be the title. Is supposed to be the introduction of Batman. And they don't have a cast. I don't think they have anybody working on it.
Well, according to James Gunn, he won't do that until they get the Batman trilogy done. Which I don't think he's going to do that.
15 years.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's wondering if Batman 2 is going to be worth it. But it took him this long to write this script. This is the first fucking draft. There is no way that James Gunn's going to read that script and go, yeah, that's totally fine. Do whatever you want. Unless he thinks that it's going to be shit, and then he can do his own Batman. Like, and it's, I don't think this movie's going to happen.
Isn't that crazy that the head of DC at the moment might want to sabotage a really popular DC property that's coming?
That makes sense. That makes sense to WB. Really,
the only real win they've had in years is the Penguin, and before that, it was the Batman.
The Batman wasn't like a huge win.
No,
it was just
a double. It was one of those doubles.
It was a double.
When you haven't made money in 5 years off the property, it probably feels pretty good.
It kind of, unfortunately, the Batman's box office is getting better with age.
So it's Batman versus Superman. Okay, so it's the original Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman. Go look at those box office. Marvel would kill for those fucking numbers right now, and DC at the time was like, and Warner Brothers was like, oh, that's terrible. We got to change everything.
Yeah, they're comparing it to like post Avenger. They were comparing all those receipts to post Avengers MCU. It's just why they tried to accelerate everything. And God, they would have killed to have and I thought Suicide Squad was not a great movie.
No.
And it's in the form it came out in, but God, they would have killed for that.
Release the air cut.
Last 11 out of the last 11 things they've released, only one of them's made money, and that's the Batman.
They have so many easy wins though, because like like if superheroes, they're still trying to keep that going. Gaming properties might be the next thing, but they've got Arkham Knights, which combines both. And if you just made an Arkham Batman in movie form,
it would be a fucking,
people would die to go watch that movie.
Incredible.
You know, they've had. Oh, I just retweeted. They have this thing called the Superman the Animated Series and Batman the Animated Series. If you just use that fucking template, people have been saying that for a decade, over a decade.
That is the perfect.
That is your template.
World.
That Justice League Unlimited, Superman the Animated Series, and Batman the Animated Series. You're good to go right there. That's what. Fuck. Yep.
I want DC superheroes that feel like fucking Olympian gods. I want that. Why don't we get that?
That's the fuck. Yeah, they're not the world outside your window. It's a totally, you know, most normies don't know, but they're a totally different universes fundamentally, and totally different fandoms completely. The term Marvel zombie comes from, that's what DC fans call Marvel fans. That's what they used to call them, because they used to see them as dumb.
Is that why they made the property?
I respect it.
Did the property come after the name?
The property came after the name. Yeah, Marvel Zombies was
we'll just become it then.
Bro, if being called a fucking zombie is the worst thing you've been called in fandom, you got it good, man. Holy shit.
Now they just call you racist.
Mild take.
I know.
You're racist. Well, yes, but that's not important right now.
And what else?
It's kind of wild too, because there was even like even though Marvel is obviously doing massive things at the box office, you still had some like cultural impact from these movies, even like Suicide Squad. Remember the Halloween after Suicide Squad released, and every fucking slut you knew was dressing up as Harley Quinn. Comic-Cons for that, every slut you knew was dressing up as Wonder Woman. Like, it did have like significant cultural, like it felt like it was relevant. I suppose
better times. Okay, I personally hate this. It's gonna sound bad, but I hate the slutty version of Harley Quinn. I like the OG one from the animated series before they turned her into a.
You know who really liked it? Sluts really liked it.
They did.
Yes, representation.
That being said, I liked that part. Okay, so, I was fine with that part. Walking around Comic-Con, and okay. Some of those girls really didn't fit into those little Daisy Dukes very well. That's but you know, 10 out of 10 for trying. But some of them did, and usually they were strippers. Remember, oh God, guys, you remember booth babes back in the day when women didn't go to Comic-Cons, and it would just be strippers, you know, just getting some extra money during the day. And they're booth babes. Those are good times. Man, they had a booth babe for Planet Terror. I tweeted about it the other day. She was missing a leg. So Planet Terror, you know, the machine, Rose McGowan has the machine gun leg. So they found a model. Yes, they found a model who's actually missing a leg.
Yes,
and had her at Comic-Con.
Pre or post sucking off Harvey Weinstein? Do you remember?
Oh, it was pre. Way before.
Pre-con.
It was Grindhouse. So it was Planet Terror and Death Proof. Death Proof is fucking terrible, but Planet Terror is really good. And Rose, so they had this model there who they're like, I went through like people were talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I'm in with an agency, and you know, anytime somebody needs a model missing a leg, I get a call. I'm like, does that happen often?
That's a neat market, man. That is really small.
More often than you
Give me a few years and I'll let the diabetes take care of
that. And if you know, if you go back on my Twitter, she also got shot.
God damn.
Yeah,
in the leg or in a different place?
In a different place. She's got like a bullet wound in there.
That's a hard lady.
Oh, wow.
Is she no Riri Williams?
I'm not going to hang around her.
She was robbing a place in a wheelchair. The only one who couldn't get away fast enough.
I don't know if I can maybe go back and look. I think I tweeted we used to be a proper country.
Downhill.
Yeah, so back in the good old days of con. Hey, so originally DC wasn't going to be at Comic-Con and Marvel was, but then they switched places. So now DC is going to be in Hall H and Marvel won't be in Hall H this year. Hopefully I'll be there. I can sneak in again like I did. I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I was thinking that as you were saying it.
Chris won't mind.
No, now.
Chris won't mind. Dude, we just followed a bunch of media people and acted like we knew what we were doing. That's all we did.
That'll get you a lot of places. That's what works, man.
That works a lot. Yeah, it works a lot. Yeah. You just walk around like you own the place.
I found it.
There it is.
A yellow vest.
Look at that.
There it is. There's there's a little shot right there on her.
That's awesome.
Wow.
She was really nice. So.
It's hard to believe that it was almost exactly 6 years ago The same weekend that I met Jeremy and Gary at the back of some random fucking bar with like 6 other people in San Diego for a meetup.
That almost sounded gay.
So,
Well,
you know.
It sounded very gay.
That was the weekend that Kevin Feige announced all the
Blue
plans
Oyster
for Phase 4 of the MCU. And that's also when he announced that they were doing Blade and brought up Mahershala Ali on stage.
Dude,
that was
so crazy.
Ago.
Jeez.
Oh
Holy
man!
cunt. I know vampires are immortal, but
remember? Okay, Jeremy. Just a side note. Remember when we announced our meetup? We're like, put it up on Twitter. We're like, it's going to be at the Blue Oyster Bar, and at this time, and then Jarbo comes in and goes, "I heard these guys are at Comic-Con. I want to face them, but they're too afraid to face me." And people were like, they literally just posted an address where you can go meet them
right here. No, they're too afraid. They're too afraid.
The good old days.
Yeah.
he needs that address to deliver his Uber Eats to.
By the way, I have to publicly apologize to the internet, and so does Jeremy, because that's where we convinced Ryan to be a YouTuber.
Sorry for all the racism, guys.
Sorry.
I was just minding my own business.
Dude, I was playing
happy. I had a good life.
Now he's
Listed still.
Look what we did to him. You did it, Jeremy.
Dude, yesterday I was playing Senator Kennedy's video where he's like, call a crackhead. You know that one? And everybody said that's old man Ryan.
Yes, it is. No, he's way too happy for Ryan. No, Senator Kennedy's fucking great.
Dude, he's the best. He's the best.
Do you want to pull up the Mark Hamill video? Fucking Star Wars, dude. Hey, what month is it? June? Still Pride Month for 3 more days. So what is it? 2 more months till supposedly Kathleen Kennedy retires for the 18th time.
There we go. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. They're
guys.
talking about a Mandalorian and Grogu trilogy, Jeremy. Trilogy.
Whoa.
What?
And so they got nothing else. They got nothing else, and they still think that people like Grogu, so they're going to milk that because they killed.
Well, I think it works. Like Superman has the dog, they've got that. Jurassic Park has now like a little dinosaur that's going to be carried around in a backpack.
A little cute. Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Every movie needs something like that to go over.
They had
it's all women. I blame women. Okay, it's
always
women.
they had a little window
Something
there
for
where the Baby Yoda stuff would have worked on the big screen, but I think they've pissed away all that. Most of that goodwill. Don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be a massive flop. It's not gonna be the Marvels, but it could have been $1 billion movie if they would have.
It could be a solo.
So
Jeremy,
it could very well be a solo.
Goodwill's where the merch is going to end up.
You don't pay George Lucas billions of dollars and give him stock options where he's made billions more. By the way, George Lucas isn't sad. He fucking sold Star Wars to Disney. He's made so much fucking money from it. He's fine.
We care a lot more than he does about the.
We care
a lot more than he does about the current state of Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. So he's fine. So Mark Hamill, really level-headed guy. No TDS at all. Was trying to work out, still trying to work out in his head how he got done dirty in Return of the Jedi, not Return.
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. I tried to erase it from my head.
Fucking brain fart at the same time.
Oh my god!
Last Jedi.
Rough.
What's that movie called? I can't remember.
Man, is this what TDS does to you? It makes you like,
yikes.
Yeah.
He's also like fucking 73 or something.
Yeah, and lots of alcohol does that.
I know you're only 27 years old, Shad, but
he could do his hair if he was.
No, his eyes are kind of sunken.
Yeah, Shad's 63, so he'll find out in about 10 years.
Yeah.
It is funny because everybody thinks Shad looks way older than he fucking is, and here he's he's really let himself go, hasn't he?
I am aging with grace. All right.
There you go.
Like
That's what I tell myself every day.
Like a fine boxed wine.
Exactly. You know, got the gray and the
That's turned to vinegar.
So for one, I mean, Jeremy and I might have judged Rian Johnson a little harshly, okay, considering what we've seen from Mark Hamill since The Last Jedi. It's like, okay, maybe I get it a little bit.
I regret feeling sympathy for Mark Hamill back during the height of The Last Jedi days. I I have no sympathy for Mark Hamill. I look back on all of his frustrating interviews, and it does make me go, perhaps I treated you too harshly, Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
Because Mark
and Daisy
Hamill
Ridley,
a piece of
for
shit.
completely different reasons. Daisy Ridley, maybe
Yeah.
we'll all right.
She's got a nice ass.
No, I'm gonna judge Disney for covering up that ass. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Marketed her better.
Yeah.
AI
Show
for
her
giving it
ass
to
a
it.
little bit. Come on.
But yeah, Mark's still trying to justify his turn in The Last Jedi, where he had a bad dream, and he tries to justify. So he gives us a little plot that might work a little better.
So I made up a much darker backstory that I thought could justify him being that way. You want to hear what it was?
Spill it, Hamill.
I thought, what could make someone give up a devotion to what is basically a religious entity, to give up being a Jedi? Well, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives up being a Jedi. They have a child together. At some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up an unattended lightsaber, pushes the button, and is killed instantly. The wife is so full of grief, she kills herself.
I have not heard this. This is the first time I heard it.
You haven't heard this?
I've seen it going around, and I just don't fucking care enough. This is an anti-gun message.
Absolutely.
Unattended lightsaber. Let it finish. He gets into it.
This is the first time I've seen this. I have not heard this. So
100%.
So good.
I thought that would be, because I think about, I hear these horrible stories about these children that find unattended guns and so forth.
Yeah, because we all leave them just like hanging out on the nightstand.
I appreciate I appreciate him trying, but I mean, hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this one, guys. If you want to make it work a little better, you have Luke Skywalker have a wife. Let's just, for argument's sake, call her Mara Jade. And they have a son. Let's just call him Ben. And then he goes to the whorehouse in Andor season 1 and fucks one of the strippers. And they have a baby. And then Luke Skywalker wants to terminate the pregnancy. But the stripper doesn't want to terminate the pregnancy, and she grows up to be a character called, we'll say for the sake of argument, Rey. And then Rey and Luke meet on the island. Hey, I'm trying to, like, this is the pro-life message here. So he learns the mistake of his ways and sees the value of life, and Rey and them connect over it. Does that work a little better?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I think so.
You're supposed to be a responsible lightsaber owner and lock it up.
Yeah. You gotta separate spitball in here, guys. Okay, I'm just like, come on,
just spitball. That was no inspiration.
That sounds way too fantastical to ever happen.
So I legitimately had not heard this from Mark Hamill, because I just don't give a fuck about anything he has to say anymore. And so I heard this going around, and I was like, he's just still trying to justify it. The fact that he's making it political still is unbelievable. So through his cope, he's still doing his democratic.
He's terminal.
Shit.
He's terminal.
This dude is gone.
I fucking love how he started that too. He's like, I made up more fan fiction for Luke. Do you want to hear about it? Because like,
go ahead, Hamill. Go ahead, Hamill.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Go on another fucking rant, buddy. Okay.
I do think it's funny that they fucked up Luke Skywalker so bad that in order to try to desperately justify how this character could get to here, he's like, well, obviously his kid accidentally killed himself, and then his wife killed himself in front of him. Like, that's the only kind of thing. It's a very disturbed thing to go to.
It actually is true, yeah.
Like the lengths you have to go to justify how Luke Skywalker turned out the way he did is funny.
Yeah. He's accidentally making our point about how bad this fucking whole thing is, because of the justification he's jumping through.
But that is like the beginning and towards the end of that segment of the interview. That's why he's talking about that, about how I didn't understand why this character was doing this, and I didn't agree with the vision. So he basically said that Ryan Johnson gave him his blessing to create this backstory to put him in the mindset of playing that character.
Wow.
Jeez.
Whatever you have to do to get yourself there.
It's unbelievable. Like, I still can't comprehend it. How did you not understand the level of importance that this sequel trilogy would carry. How?
Yeah, but never mind that. But if his story was the kid picked up the unattended lightsaber, number one, fame on you. And then the story was, because of this, his wife killed himself. I have a question. Why did you therefore then want to murder your fucking nephew?
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
This will protect him from
Jeremy,
lightsabers.
to your point, sir, here we are here at the end. We are in the apathy phase of Star Wars. We are in the apathy phase of Star Trek. We are entering it with Marvel. And this is the shit we were talking about and trying to bring up. Like every fan in the chat was waving our hands around going, don't fucking do this. We want to keep giving you money. And they're like, fuck you. We're the professionals. We know better than you do. And they didn't care. They didn't care enough to do the research. They didn't care enough to listen to the fans. They decided to cope by blaming the fans for their failures over and fucking over again. And now they're going to have to deal with the consequences because you can't undo this. You can't unmake the soup. We've all seen this shit. You can go erase it and can it all you want. Too late. We already fucking saw it. We've already seen emotional Spock. We've already seen Luke drinking titty milk. We've already seen all this shit. We've already seen the Doctor change from a woman to a fucking gay black dude, and there's no way to fix it now. And we were trying to tell you, we like this stuff for years, and what, as fans, media literate fucking retards out there, as fans, we do understand it because we've watched it for years. We've read all the comic books. We've read all the fucking books. Yes, we do know what the fuck we're talking about. We might have different interpretations here and there, and you'll hear that with our Superman arguments, but ultimately the fans understood and cared more about the legacy than they do. And they spent billions, and now they're going to make millions. And they get what they deserve. And what sucks, though, is we like this stuff and we wanted it to continue. And it's the bigger picture is how it's affecting Hollywood overall, culturally. I heard him mentioning it on Open Bar last night. We are at a cultural dead end right now. We're at a cultural dead end with music, with publishing, with comics. And while there's still some good stuff coming out, it's not really groundbreaking or innovative. Nothing's pushing the envelope at all because they're just repeating shit. It's the equivalent of rolling the fucking Rolling Stones out, the 2 that are left or 3 that are left in their fucking 80s playing. That's not helping rock. That's not helping music at all. And we're in this algorithm age, and the only natural thing is for it to break up, is for it to decentralize, and we'll make our own entertainment. And that, it's good, but it also sucks because I would have liked to see more good Star Wars. I would have liked to see more good Doctor Who. I would have supported it all day long. I would have been fucking the Rings of Power's biggest fucking fan if it was good. And unfortunately, it wasn't. They didn't listen because they didn't care. And now they're going to lose their industry over it. And they should. They haven't pushed the envelope or developed anything or broke any ground or done anything in the last decade. Yep. And you can't go that long.
The thing with Hollywood is if it's only got one set of ideas, that's the only thing they can create. You can't be original. Every original idea you come up with is simply you deconstructing other things you experienced and recombining them into a new thing. So he goes to gun violence because that's what's on his mind. That's what he cares about. But everybody in Hollywood cares about that. And so you'll never have new people who talk to each other and combine things from all over the place with various different ideas to make something completely original. All they'll do is reinvent the same things in their own bubble time and time and time again, and maybe add a little bit onto it to make it slightly different. And it's the case of the people that broke it can't fix it because you need somebody with entirely new ideas from an entirely different perspective.
Well, that's the thing. It's like all the
people.
It's there.
You also need people that are willing to take risks, and a lot of the guys that were risk takers and could see the genius of an idea are gone. They either got Me Too'd, or they left the industry because they were sick of all the identity politics, or they got blacklisted because they argued and said things against somebody that they weren't supposed to. So they're not there anymore. So everybody that works there now were all the people that were waiting to backstab somebody else to take their positions, and they're so terrified of losing their jobs that they won't take any risks. So somebody could walk up with a fucking golden script idea that could absolutely work and please the fans, and they'll go, nah, that's too risky. We can't do that.
Well, you're right. There's only so much. There's only so much talent in the world. We saw this. You guys are probably, most of you are too young for this. We saw a talent drain in sports. sorry to bring up a sports analogy here, but once, you know, all the best athletes used to go to baseball because you would have a longer career and you get a better contract. Then that changed with the NFL, but you still have a shorter career. Then there was a little drain at certain positions because the NBA was blowing up, and there was a certain amount of certain type of athletes, particularly like tight end, would end up going to the NBA instead because you could have a longer career and you could have a better contract. And that's what's happening with Hollywood right now. Their best talent is they're not getting the best editors. Right now, you could probably do better as an editor editing for a YouTube channel.
Yes.
You like on average, you will do better as an editor. You will have less corporate structure to deal with for the most part. You'll have to work a little harder because you'll basically
more creativity.
We'll have more. You will have way more. Dude, I used to farm fucking footage for and collect footage for reality TV. That was kind of the side thing I did, and that was far more creative than other shit I did, which I was just told, this is where you edit, this is what you do. And you know, it's you're working without a net a little bit, but it's far more fulfilling and creative to go out on your own and do this stuff. And now you can make more money doing it. You know, top tier editors still, you know, make tons of money, but they are now, there's fewer positions because they're getting farmed out to other countries, right?
And they price
themselves out, or AI is going to be able to edit pretty soon too.
Hey, Gary,
edit in your style.
We talk about creativity, right? And talk about reinventing the wheel. You've recently just bought the Transformers comic. You've seen what it's like. It's great, isn't it?
It's fucking fantastic. It's one of the best comics I've read in years.
Yeah, issue 1 has just completed its 12th printing.
Jesus Christ. See?
Holy shit.
But again,
That's
it
really
was
fucking
just
good.
You know what it was? It was, let's have the Transformers be the Transformers and take a very respective look at. Now they are doing something very different, but this was a toy. This was a fucking the cartoon was a commercial for a toy, and now it's a sophisticated comic book. So it took this long, and all you had to do was put it in talented hands. That's all you needed to do.
Amazing what happens when you do that.
Not have them be trans fucking allegories or all the other shit that they were doing in IDW. They just give it to Rob.
Oh, he froze.
Oh,
I thought it was me.
I thought it was me.
Everyone wait because we're all thinking the same thing.
On here and I fucked up.
And what's happening, I'll tell you what. And what's happening with Transformers at issue 25? Robert Kirkman is going to take over the writing duties.
Great.
So
yeah. Titan's been doing the new Conan run. Apparently, that's really fucking
it's
good.
Really good. It's really good. So, I mean, non-superhero comics, which like comics has needed that forever. They needed to break away from the superheroes. Bande dessinée, like Razorfist talks about it all the time with French comics. Superheroes aren't the most popular comic books over there. Dude, they're reprinting the Disney shit. He just posted it today.
Saw that.
Dude, it looks amazing. It looks
the art looks crazy
so
good.
Go back to fantasy, do some westerns, just do anything but super, because comic books aren't just superheroes, and they haven't been forever. And why does manga take off so much? Because it's not all, it's every genre.
It's good.
Yeah.
To connect what you were saying before, Gary, how you're saying that Hollywood doesn't want to try anything new. And what I think fans want, they want something old in a new package. And that's what Hollywood has abandoned, because the things that we love that's old is those traditional stories of heroism. Okay, those universal themes that inspire, and we want those stories retold in new ways. And that's what manga is doing well. And that's what you can do with, you know, pushing those stories forward. But instead, Hollywood, they kind of did try something new, which was really bad, is that they wanted to abandon what those standard, you know, moral tales are, because they hate them. They are not moral people.
All that stuff's still out there. There's still great artists, like you were talking about earlier. There's still great music out there. There's still great bands making new and innovative music, but the industries have chosen not to focus on that.
Yeah. Well, and it's because of their politics. Yeah. And it's you know, we get tired of talking about it too, but it's the fact remains, they point out every other problem in their industry, which are legit, which are fucking paper cuts compared to their ideology, their personal ideology, the interpersonal corporate politics, and their absolute refusal to bring back the hero, because they fundamentally hate it. They hate it. You know, like, and now they're in competition with themselves. They have all their libraries on all their streaming services, and we have a choice to, do I want to watch something new? Do I want to watch Squid Game season 3 or Babylon 5. And I chose Babylon 5 this morning. I'm like, I'd rather watch Babylon 5. I fucking hated Squid Game season 2, so fuck it. But like that's the choice they have. And now there's more availability. You know, my kid is reading pulp from the fucking 30s, and I was able to find some actual pulp books from the 30s cheap, $15 each, and I just buy them at a bookstore, and which are cheaper than a trade paperback or a graphic novel. And he's reading like, and it's a style that's completely gone. And it would work today easily. It would work today.
So
Some
much
of the most base shit you've ever fucking read.
Gary, I think I'm going to be getting my boys on to read Dragonlance next, and there is like 80 books or something in the whole Dragonlance universe. It's huge.
Yeah,
there's so much.
Well, we all had a lot of great opinions on Hollywood, and you know, I disagree with all of them. I think they need more taxpayer money. I think it's what it is.
See, that's the thing.
Totally.
Speaking of going to the person who created the fucking problem, they ran to Daddy Gavin fucking Newsom to get a tax credit approved that, by the way, has so many fucking strings attached, it's not going to do a fucking thing.
Yep. So
Film Threat has done an interview with Jim Agnew. He'll explain it all. I think Jim Agnew was on another show as well. He's making the rounds. As Disparu has pointed out, these will have a ton of DEI requirements, fucking shit ton. So it doesn't change anything. But California legislator approves $750 million funding for film and TV tax credit programs. So technically, they're saying it's not taking taxpayers' money because it's a credit. The only promise is we promise to steal less money from you.
Yes.
And their ties are in front of the camera and behind the camera have to look like California, which not only limits you from a load of stuff, like you couldn't make a Viking movie under this because you'd have to look like California, but it also means that you can't have the best script writers, you can't get the best editors. You've got to hire people of all the diversity tip boxes from California.
Yes.
And if those people aren't talented, tough, you've got to hire them anyway if you want money.
And do you want to know why they're leaving? Because of those fucking mandates that they have. It's not just money. And people have said that privately and publicly. It's not just money. It's all the restrictions. It's so much red tape, so much bureaucracy, and you have to deal with both the union, the state, and the corporation. So that's 3 fucking mindless entities you have to fucking deal with. And the corporation might be the most reasonable one. Not saying it's the best, but it might, because they're the ones who actually want to make money and have skin in the game. But that's why they're moving to other places, and it'll never come back. Jim Agnew said it's like, for one, they have been leaving Hollywood for decades at this point, like 2 decades at this point. This has been happening. You can't undo it. And Gavin Newsom's not going to fucking fix shit. It took him this long to sign this. Like, really? You know, he should have signed this 5 years ago. 5 years ago when, because people have been going to the UK for quite a while now. And they were going, before that, they were going to Atlanta, which is not as good as the UK. And now Atlanta's drying. It was a matter of fact, Marvel's pretty much packing up from Atlanta and going to the UK.
Well, to be fair, Gary, Gavin Newsom's kind of an idiot. Is a bit slow on the uptake.
Kind of. He wants like $800 million.
Trying to be polite here.
Gavin Newsom is the epitome of a piece of shit politician. He is the worst fucking politician out there. I want him to run for president because I'd love to see the campaign ads against him. It would just be a fucking reel of everything I hate about him, and I would enjoy the shit out of it. He brought back train robberies. That motherfucker brought back train robberies. I mean, that might be his greatest accomplishment. But he doesn't.
That sounds kind of rad.
I don't understand. Old school in all fairness.
Mad Max over there.
That sounds kind of fucking cool. I would on a train and people ride up on horses and shooting at you and stuff. Like,
that's how bad the trains are. They can get matched by horses.
Yes.
I would argue that Lindsey Graham might be worse than Gavin Newsom.
Oh man, Lindsey Graham's pretty fucking horrible.
Lindsey Graham's pretty fucking horrible.
He's pretty fucking horrible.
It's pretty fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But Gavin Newsom's worse. Gavin Newsom,
Gretchen Whitmer here. So
okay, so back in I think it was 2009 or 2011, I voted against it to $40 billion, dedicate $40 billion to a high-speed train between Los Angeles and San Francisco. What we got was a regular speed train that went from Modesto for about 20 miles. That's about it.
What'd you do with the rest of the money?
I think that's government working as intended, Gary.
Yes, California government, but man, they're going to fix Hollywood.
They did the exact same thing in Detroit. I think it's the same scheme. They go, oh look, we're going to make a big train. It's going to transport a lot of people, and then just give us all your money.
Well, hold on. Where's this going?
Over here, we spent hundreds of millions of pounds on a car park and then didn't attach it to a road. So it's just sitting there, unable to be used. There's just a random car park. The motorway is right next to it. You can see it from the car park. They just never built a road to connect it.
Oh, God. You can see it.
Hilarious.
It's right there.
Do you want to talk about? Pull up that Pedro article because I got to read the first couple of paragraphs. I read the first 2 paragraphs.
Can we just see the face thing first?
I'm so sick of Pedro. Holy crap! I don't want to see it.
This is the most disturbing thing I've seen.
Yeah, they're like, guys, we promise women are attracted to this man.
No, they are male.
There's a big old black dude's hand. Right there. I got another version of this.
Oh, no. That's crazy.
At least this can stay in Hollywood.
Look at Ryan smiling with a black
man. This looks like one of those AI videos where I just turn into spaghetti. Or something.
Yeah. I hope that would make sense.
Can we talk about how comfortable through most of this? Except there's that shot of him. Smiling.
If that was a woman, there'd be absolute uproar.
Yeah, it might be Shia Kool-Aid.
Okay, so fucking these pretentious fucking. I hate this shit so much. So let's read the first. Now Ryan brought up, and you were looking at the box office that like Pedro does not put butts in seats. This is
also doesn't do very many movies. Period.
Well, he's in 2 in July.
Right, but what I'm talking about is like big time movie. We don't see him in those. You know?
No, he's in a lot of TV shows, and he's but he seems like he's everywhere because he is fucking everywhere. For one, he is now like they're saying front and center in the MCU. You got to be fucking kidding me, right? Like, we're gonna change. We're gonna bring in Pedro Pascal, who's also in a Star Wars movie.
He is like the most important person, one of the most important people for Marvel moving forward out of this. And also is the face or the helmet of your next fucking Star Wars movie too.
Yep.
And that is a lot to dedicate to somebody like Pedro, who certainly has a hardcore, rabid, tiny, freakish fan base, right?
Yes.
The people that love him do love him, but how many of them are there, and will they show up? I don't know. And is everybody else just fucking sick of him?
How many of them were influenced by things like these PR campaigns that were like, oh yeah, everyone's calling him daddy, he's so attractive, and then they thought everyone else found him attractive, they did. Then as it comes out and it says everyone can't stand him, suddenly people are going off him all of it.
How many couches was this guy fucking laying on? Dude? This is crazy.
I think I recall how much Brie Larson was being pushed on us for a long time too. So yes,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay,
just seems
what's behind this is there is agents behind this, there are sponsors behind this, there's corporations pushing this behind this. You know, that's like none of this is natural. It's like a lot of shit you see with influencers. There's people who make this stuff, try to manifest it, and they've definitely manifested this. So let's go to those first couple paragraphs. That's all we're going to read, I promise, because I couldn't get past them. So I'm
up for shit.
Yeah, great.
That's not the whole article.
To his friends and family, he is Pabello, Pee-Pee, Petters, and Pedo. Oh, sorry, Peds. Years ago, on a movie set, someone started calling him Pepsi, which he loved. Fans on the internet famously refer to him as Daddy or Zaddy, meaning he's a handsome, stylish older man. They can imagine dominating them in a way they would not object to.
What the fuck?
I didn't know what I started reading when I volunteered for this.
I told you. Go ahead, buddy.
In a 2022 video for Vanity Fair, part of the magazine's lie detector series, he laughed off the nickname Daddy is a state of mind. He said, "I'm your daddy." He was being playful, but his eye contact with the camera was so transfixing that some observers only heard the second sentence of that statement. Bella Ramsey, his young co-star on The Last of Us, a show that truly catapulted him into stardom, disliked this daddy label the minute it was affixed to their friends. To their friend. I forget. Bella Ramsey identifies as fucking non-binary, plural, whatever the fuck. So they mean her friend.
Potato.
I felt worried for him. I wanted to protect him from that whole joke of becoming the internet's daddy. I was like, I don't want everyone to refer to you as that and see you as that. You're so much more. Ramsey
That's understandable, as no one's ever found her attractive before.
God. Hedge. for simplicity's sake, I'm going to call him Pedro Pascal. Can you scroll up to the author of this?
Karen.
Woman,
doesn't it?
At least it's a woman. It could have been a fucking dude, and I'd been like, it's much worse.
Yeah, that's enough. That's honestly enough.
No, that was not enough. That is too much.
Too much.
Okay?
Thank you.
Too much.
There was a quote in there that said, "This is what masculinity should be in the future. This
exactly.
is
what
burn it."
Well, there's that one director who basically is pushing this being the next masculinity in Hollywood.
Let's see here. Hold on.
Oh, thanks. Hi.
Whoa, wow.
Pedro masculinity.
What is Pedro
Gary
masculinity?
jump scare right there.
It's the antithesis of ugly and aggressive petro masculinity. Sure, but it's also another narrow box. Let's not reduce Pedro Pascal's goodness to masculinity.
Yeah, he's too feminine.
Look at that cover.
He's gay.
Yeah.
Remove the R.
There is a 100% chance that at least at some point, but probably at multiple points in his life, Pedro Pascal has had another man's penis inside his mouth and in his mouth.
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure this is a Saturday.
That's a pretty safe bet, Ryan.
He had the Fantastic Four.
It's like in Tropic Thunder. Everybody a little gay in Hollywood.
Once in a while.
Remember, this is the guy who called a lot of you out there the Confederates and Nazis. Right. Half the country Nazis, and he gets every role. And Gina, hope her lawsuit's doing well, gets fired, and he gets rewarded. And now he's being pushed on everything. I can't wait. I got Eddington circled on my calendar because it's going to be Hollywood's take on the not post-COVID, the COVID era of what they think is misinformation and
exposing white nationalists, white supremacy, all that kind of shit. That looks like it's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of talent in that
yes,
movie.
There is.
It looks like it's going to be just pure activism.
Yep.
But
the review calls it a swipe at MAGA, 100%.
Yes.
So
that's 100% what you can just watch the trailer and 100% get that, and then you listen to them speak about it like they did at the Cannes Film Festival. You're like, oh, that's 100% what it is. Pedro, it's funny because he did get this job, but he was not the first choice.
No.
In fact, this was the last. Reed Richards was the last role cast by Marvel for this movie, and they went to 4 other people and offered them the role before they offered it to Pedro.
I'm going to find out who they were.
Yeah, I want to know who.
Clearly, they had more self-respect than Pedro.
I might
Adam
be able
Driver
to.
was one of them. There was a couple. Matt Smith may have been one of them as well. There's a couple others in there.
Dude, both of those would have been 100% better. Matt Smith would have been great.
Adam Driver's actually a really good actor.
Adam Driver would have been fine.
Really good actor.
Adam Driver would have been fine.
It depends whether they turned it down just because they don't want to be part of Marvel, or they read the script, saw what they'd have to do, and then turned it down.
I think
if they realized that they'd have to be subservient to Sue, and no, I'm not doing that.
Well, considering it's Marvel, there wasn't a script, so
likely. Yeah. What's happening? I mean, it used to be being in the MCU is a huge boost for your career. Now, as we're seeing with Mahershala Ali, they're locked into these contracts and can't take other work. So they're watching money go out the door and losing opportunities, and then they have to rebuild their career because Hollywood's built on momentum. So that's why when you see an actor get a big role, you'll see them in a bunch of smaller roles right before that big role comes out because they're building a career for things. Yeah. So Mahershala Ali's pissed because he can't take any fucking roles because he can't get out of this contract. And so he can't take anything else, and nobody wants to do that anymore because it's killing their careers.
The alternative is being in one of these movies. So
apparently the script was dog shit, and I was told what killed it was they saw the script for Sinners. They knew what Sinners was about, and it was going to be very similar. Blade was going to be a period piece in the 30s, I believe, we even the plot of Blade versus vampire KKK would be fucking awesome. That would be great. I'd watch the shit out of that, but that's not what it was. It was 30s Blade surrounded by a bunch of women. And it was just terrible. It was a terrible script.
That's awful.
And they never went back to it. And it's the easiest thing. Mahershala Ali is a great actor. He's a great actor. He would be a really good Blade. Maybe not as good as Wesley. Nobody's going to be as good as Wesley, but he would have been a really good Blade. It would have been enjoyable to watch in another universe that not the one we currently live in, where they could just make a rated R Blade movie where he's with Whistler and just killing a bunch of fucking vampires. Apparently, that's just some code that cannot be cracked at Marvel because it involves masculinity.
Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of masculinity, you want to watch the final trailer for Fantastic Four?
Oh,
not really.
No.
Fantastic Four.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I love the music for it.
I heard the trailer was good. I just don't care enough to watch it.
Every time I hear the music and the big choral drop, I do like it. It's from the same dude that did the Batman, Giacchino.
Yeah, he's
a good one.
Good. He's very good. Well, dude, he did The Incredibles. The Incredibles soundtrack is so fucking good.
Oh my gosh, so good.
This one's let's watch it. It's a little better, but female Silver Surfer fucking ruins everything, so forget it.
Yeah.
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Mark Gatiss.
Yeah.
Dr. Who.
Mr. Fantastic.
Which
Are you guys ready?
They don't show his power.
Underwhelming power ever.
Yeah, I heard they don't show his powers that much.
I was going to say none of the marketing do you see him using his powers like hardly at all.
No,
when he actually has a cool power. I know it's like a little silly, whatever.
No,
they don't do Plastic Man the same way, but it's cool.
That Elastigirl proved you can show that power being very cool.
Is his power being bilingual?
I wouldn't fucking want to fight Reed Richards doing some of the shit he can do. Like, yeah,
he can slap you in the head with his dick from like 4 blocks away.
That's a power.
Like a helicopter. That's a real helicopter.
Yeah.
Even One Piece showed that power can be cool,
right? Yes. It can be good, but they're not going to do it.
Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny.
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
Yes, it is a lot.
Time.
That's
He
just
actually
in the
says
cartoon.
it a lot. He actually says it a lot in the comic books.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
No, you know that what setup that is for. Like he's going to be reluctant for it for most of the film until finally.
That's like what they did with Avengers Assemble. You know,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind. That doesn't bother me.
I don't mind. I don't mind if they use it as a little gag throughout, and then he finally embraces it and says it.
That's the least of my worries with this
Yeah,
movie.
me too.
Yeah.
Never late for Sunday dinner.
Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
So, Galactus looks fucking awesome, dude.
I herald his beginning.
This is terrible.
I herald her voice is horrendous. It's so
your manager, please.
needles on a chalkboard.
God, it's fucking terrible. That looks good.
Galactus.
That looks bad. Oh my God, that looks
Is it
bad.
Jennifer Lawrence?
What happened to her face?
I-
What the fuck?
$200 million fucking dollars, and they can't have she cannot her lips cannot pronounce Galactus properly. Like what?
I've seen better CGI on Instagram.
That is
Instagram
Jennifer
artist.
Lawrence after Harvey Weinstein nutted on her face right there.
dang.
So there we go. Congratulations on the child. For
The first female action hero.
I herald
Apparently, he
his
didn't nut on her face.
I mean, he could have nutted in a few different places. They loved him.
What is that? Galactus.
Get us out of here, man! Hold on!
Are we safe?
I don't know.
Are you straight? I don't know.
We know.
We are
You
going
know,
to find a
come on.
solution. We are going to make it right. You don't want to just crush him like that.
I like Herbie.
We'll face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
Wait.
What time is it?
Why does he have a beard?
Because it's Gary representation.
I feel seen.
This looks like Abby getting boned.
Okay, yeah. I mean, forget about the flaming guy butt fucking him right now.
Birds going in.
Gary says, "I feel seen as he's getting fucked."
plowed by fucking the Human Torch. By the flame on, boys. Let's go.
I feel represented.
They did it in the comics later on, and it was lame, and it's lame. I don't know why.
Stalactites on his face.
Does he have pubes?
Yeah, it was.
Does Ryan? I shit you not, Ryan. These are conversations I had for years in my comic store. Does he shit? Does he shit rocks? Like, how does he have sex? You know, and we never really could figure it out. We'd have to I mean, considering his size and we get in the details. So size and proportion, and poor Alicia Masters, and she's blind, but she'll still be able to feel it. The big rock talk. I don't know.
Does he polish it
down? Yeah, that's all discussions we've had in the comic store. Yeah, he has to polish it down. Yes, so it's like a big rock
for that.
Big rock dildo.
He does that in his own time.
Yep, and be a big rock dildo. You're right.
Why does he have a beard?
Just a giant fucking rock.
He can grow a beard.
Rock balls.
Because he can.
Just to chip one out of him.
Okay.
I'd like to point out that a lot of the mainstream channels went into
erosion.
A lot of the mainstream channels apologized over and over again because Trump said fuck, and we're sitting here talking about what does his dick do and all of this we're having and this is nerd conversations. This is what normal people talk about. This is what we do.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, I've those are obvious conversations you have to have when you're talking about superheroes. If I know that Mr. Fantastic can fucking stretch everything, I obviously want to know about his dick. Right?
Dude, no.
What are his abilities?
What happens when Superman nuts? It would pop right through fucking Lois Lane's head and explode.
I can't wait till they edit Ryan, the part where Ryan's I obviously want to see it. No,
it's just like any time on Twitter when I don't know, Shaq takes a picture next to a white female reporter. You know what the comment section's going to be. You already know.
So there's a comic book by Garth Ennis called The Pro, and it's about a superhero hooker. And in the first part of it, she has sex with a Superman character, and he nuts and he fucking crashes a plane. It fucking knocks a plane out of the sky. Read it. It's good. It's good stuff. The Pro.
Say it. No, Johnny. Say it. I don't wanna. Say it.
There's a little tricky power.
First step. Pedro wanted to be Mr. Fantastic, the infinite stretching.
Galactus looked a little small in this. He can walk down a street. I thought he was supposed to be 10 times bigger.
His
I
size.
want to repeat. I want to repeat a conversation we had a few weeks ago. All right, I want to bring this up again. Now that we are closer, do you think that from a normie standpoint, what's going to do better? Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park? And I think Fantastic Four is looking to be the best from a normie standpoint.
I think it'd be last.
No, I think
first, then Superman, then Fantastic.
I think there's more discussion around Superman, which means more interest.
I think Superman is going to do better. That's my personal thought.
And I've heard Jurassic Park is terrible, although I don't know from people that seen it. I heard it's just fucking horrific.
I heard it's awful. An hour.
How many of them reviewed the other films badly as well, though? And
the movies were fucking awful.
They really were. I mean, I'm personally more excited for Superman. Just want to put that out there. I'm personally more excited for Superman.
Yeah, I would if I want choice.
Go ahead.
I would rather watch Superman.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Jurassic World, is going to do better internationally than both of these things. Domestically, it might get beat potentially.
That is true. It is true.
But yeah, look, Jurassic World was okay. It was fun, I guess. You know what I mean? Chris Pratt is, likable as a character. Owen Grady, whatever. But the second two, Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, were fucking trash. They were trash.
Really bad. Really bad.
They both made $1 billion. I don't think this one's necessarily going to get there. But
no, because Scarlett Johansson, hey, she's got some great assets, lots of respect, but she's gonna be a fucking girl boss, dude. And she's not gonna bring as many people as Chris Pratt would. She's just not. But
yeah, we just don't know anything. I don't think her character's going to be as likable as Chris Pratt's was probably. But I mean, I still think I'm sitting here saying 700 million-ish for Superman, 650-ish for Fantastic Four, like in that area. But I don't know. I think I just saw they projected for close to around where Superman is domestic opening weekend. Similarly, I guess the one thing you could say Fantastic Four is going for it is it's not going to have as much competition because it comes out last, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Superman comes out July 10th or July 11th, and 2 weeks, then Fantastic Four, and then it has kind of a clean slate for a while.
Yeah, it's nothing. Nobody 2 is going to come out, which I want to see. But there's not going to be much competition. So July will decide the future of the superhero movie. Period. It is the great reckoning to see if this thing continues or if it doesn't continue. And yes, Doomsday and Secret Wars are down the line, and they are gimmick movies. They are fucking Spider-Man No Way Home. They are Deadpool and Wolverine. So they're not going to do anything to fix the problem, which something like a Blade movie could, which is you put $60-70 million into it and you make it rated R and it makes like $300 million worldwide, pulls in a profit, but probably does pretty well on streaming, and it's just back to basics. Let's keep it with one superhero and let's not fill it with a bunch of guest stars and, but apparently we can't do that anymore with superhero movies.
Did you guys already talk about how if you Twitter search Pedro Pascal, gay is like the second thing that comes up?
That's crazy. You mean the picture of him simulating sucking a dick? Oh, that's madness.
Mexico and then gay.
Yeah, I was listening to Film Threat earlier, and they were talking about the problems with Spider-Man 3 and X-Men 3. And the problems with those movies, Alan stated was, and he was right at the time, there was too many characters.
Yes.
Why does it say Mexico?
Mexico.
He's not even from Mexico.
He's from Chile.
I called him a Mexican the other day on Daily on accident. But.
Yeah. But look at how far we've come. Like, people thought there was too many characters in Spider-Man 3. And look at what we're dealing with now.
They were right.
Oh, you're right. They were right then, 100%. But like, it's nothing compared to what we have to deal with now.
Yeah, I can't wait for Superman when it's 59,000 characters.
Yeah.
And did you hear James Gunn's defense of that? It was like, well, there's more in Oppenheimer. It's like, I don't. This isn't even the. That's what he said.
Wow.
It's like,
Yeah, he did.
Whenever
he
he
said more
said
actors in Oppenheimer, way more.
There's more speaking roles in Oppenheimer. Yeah.
When he's talking about box office, it's like, well, it's not Avatar. When he's talking about speaking roles, he suddenly goes to Oppenheimer. He always jumps to the extreme and goes, well, we're not the worst in this category.
By the way,
I
James,
when Oppenheimer ripped up his shirt.
And then
Time to Oppen.
and then crush some communist pussy.
James Cameron actually criticized Oppenheimer, I guess, today. He took shots at it by saying Nolan was too scared to touch on the aftermath of, the 2 nuclear bombs that we dropped on Japan. And it's like, that's not what the movie was about.
That's not
James Cameron will spend like 25 years making an Avatar
there was
film,
a sequel
and then
to
take shots
Oppenheimer.
at everyone around
It's called
him.
Godzilla Minus One.
Called Godzilla Minus One. And James Cameron is going uber male feminist because he's like famously he's a complete asshole on the set.
Yeah.
He's trying not to
I
get
think you're
canceled.
agreeing with each other.
Yeah. Yes. That's the only reason, because some people have been canceled just for being assholes, and I'm surprised James Cameron hasn't been one of them. Well, it's because he still makes a lot of money for
He
I
makes so much fucking money that he has a shield in front of him. Yeah.
He makes so
He's
much money. He
untouchable.
drove a fucking like submarine down to the fucking what is it? The deepest part of the ocean. The Mariana Trench. Like, what a psychopath. Like, I respect it, but what a fucking
dude, he's got
son of a bitch.
Homeboy's got 5 ex-wives. I'd go to the bottom of the ocean.
When the sub imploded, he's like, I'm kind of an expert on this. I wouldn't have done that, Yeah. Oh, shouldn't you be making movies? He's like, I'm working on it. Okay?
I remember
the Netflix documentary on that's pretty good. The Titan sub thing.
Yeah.
Is
it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when James Cameron was talking about the whole, the explosion, and I remember people going, "The fuck does this?" Because he directed Titanic, they want his fucking opinion. I'm like, No,
he
he literally
actually
is an expert in this.
He is an expert, and he innovated a submarine.
I saw
like,
a lot of people
like,
go, because he directed Titanic, they want his opinion. I'm like, fuck, no.
There's another documentary Chris Gore was talking about it, the Poop Cruise. Has anybody seen that one?
I did watch
I
that.
I saw an ad
How was it, Ryan?
So ads of that.
I wouldn't recommend watching it. It's not a great one. It's like it's. I think girls would like it. So Chrissy probably likes
Why
it.
would girls like it?
Isn't it like about a carnival cruise?
Yeah, it's about that I think it's Carnival. The cruise that 10 years ago.
The cruise that has all the black people. So that's a carnival cruise.
Well,
Ironheart.
Those weren't probably leaving Africa.
I'm pretty sure
you beat me to it, Gary.
I don't know that you can voluntarily put a bunch of black people on ships.
Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, I don't want to be in fucking open water.
Showdown in Toontown.
One of those cruise lines is basically like the Spirit Airlines of the sea.
That's Carnival.
Carnival didn't used to be that way. You know,
stay the fuck away from Carnival.
I was on a Carnival one 30 years ago, and it was good. It was fine.
If I get on a ship and I see just a bunch of black people walking around, I'm getting right off, man. Turn
this bitch around.
British accents around the place.
I'm out of here,
bro. Back up, Garrett. We got to swing back to.
There was the fire and all the electricity went out. They were dead in the water for like a couple days, and they started running out everything, and people started hoarding shit, and they couldn't flush the toilets.
Toilets start backing up and shit.
Shit in bags and everything. Yeah.
I'm like, why did you just shut
you're in the ocean? Yeah, you got water right out the window.
Your ass out the window.
Exactly.
Most unbelievable thing in Ironheart is when she takes a swim.
I was like,
oh God, is this what I've become? I'm like, she ain't swimming through that tube. she's gonna drown right then and there.
Could have been a better show.
Should have just dragged herself along the walls.
Yeah.
So apparently, what is this? The 100 best.
So they reported it as Screen Time reported as that they voted The Dark Knight as number one. Yes and no. It's like The Dark Knight's the top ranked film.
They said The Dark Knight is the top ranked comic book movie of the 20th.
Right. But this is the top 100 films, and The Dark Knight is just ranked as like the 29th. Highest. Yeah, the highest ranked comic book film on this list.
Black Panther's like 96th.
Number one was amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen number one. No. So never seen it.
I know somebody who did.
We all know someone who did see it.
So The Dark Knight is the highest ranking comic book film of the 21st century, and that is wrong.
I agree completely.
Spider-Man 2 is a better movie than The Dark Knight. It's a better representation of the
superhero. You're not gonna make me argue against Spider-Man 2 because it is a masterpiece, but I think The Dark Knight is better. My issue with Spider-Man 2 is minor. Takes his mask off too many times in the fucking movie. He just does. He takes his mask off too many times. It's like 5 times. Takes his fucking mask off. Sometimes it's not even for any point.
Every time Bruce Wayne has sex, he tells somebody his secret identity.
Yeah, this is true. Bruce Wayne's a little
literally
fucking.
A woman walks by and she just.
He let you in the cave. He let her in the cave.
I love Spider-Man 2 though. Spider-Man 2 is a phenomenal.
Spider-Man 2 is a perfect superhero film. Like it is phenomenal.
But I'll take The Dark Knight over it. But I'm not going to
criticize. While The Dark Knight has the best version of the Nolan costume, the costume's still fucking ridiculous. Okay, it's still the Batman costume is not fucking good. Okay, it's just not.
It has
barely a Batman costume.
It has a bigger cultural footprint because of Heath Ledger. Because I think that's personally one of the greatest pieces of acting we've ever seen of all time. But Spider-Man 2 is the better superhero film.
Yep,
hands down.
Yes,
easily. Dark Knight's great.
I love Dark Knight.
I love Dark Knight, but that Batman costume
phenomenal.
Terrible.
Dark Knight will probably always be like the top tier comic.
I love Batman Begins.
21st century.
And Batman Begins has the worst fucking Batman costume of all of them.
But it has the best Batman voice of all 3 movies.
Yes,
Batman Begins does.
Batman Begins is the shit. I love it, but it's a terrible fucking costume.
I like his cape the most.
Well, but they based it. They're like, we're gonna base it on a panther. He's like, he's based it on a fucking bat. He's a bat.
But a panther.
But a panther. No, a bat. He's called Batman.
Batman, not Black Panther. First white Black Panther. Batman Begins.
that list is voted on by like actors and directors and stuff like that. If the fucking thing is set up so terribly, I have to scroll 1,000,000 miles just to get to the next one. But in the top 20, there's a lot of arguments to be had there. But
the number one film on that list is Parasite.
Correct.
What?
Really? Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty good.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
It's really good.
I've heard it's good. Shout out to
one.
Robert Storms, though. Shout out to our boy Robert Storms.
Parasite.
That's literally the only thing I think of when I hear that is him.
Parasite's a really good
mega
movie.
viral for that.
Dude, that video is so good. It is so fucking funny to watch.
Best Asian. Best for the Asians.
Parasite.
Parasite's a really good movie. I mean, it's a great movie.
The best,
but it's 100% because of it's a foreign film that they did that.
Yeah,
they're just like, oh well,
that's why it won the
Oscar.
Oscar.
Yeah. So 20s Wolf of Wall Street. What's 19?
That's
Zodiac's awesome.
Zodiac is awesome. Is it the 19th best movie?
I don't know about that.
25 years.
Especially since their summation of the Zodiac was completely wrong. But I mean.
Fucking foreign, whatever.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
You too, también.
A lot of people say that
what the hell? Yes. So somebody in here's got a boner for Heath Ledger.
Gay cowboys eating pudding.
Hollywood absolutely loves gay cowboys. They're like, we did it, guys. We got gay cowboys.
Maybe they've got a boner for Jake
mate, I love this film.
Dude, love this movie.
During the materialist. During materialist marketing, someone was quoting various different movies. They said the first word of Brokeback Mountain, Pedro knew it instantly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, I know we went through this with the millennium, but is 2000 technically the first year of the 21st century?
Yes, zero.
Yes, 2000, 2001, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
That's like saying after you're born, you're not alive until you hit 1.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really, because you don't know shit. All you're doing is shit in your pants.
It still exists though.
City of God.
Okay, how much do you remember of it?
That way.
You don't have to. Just because you don't remember something doesn't mean you don't exist.
How do I know you were there? How do I know you were there? I don't know your parents. City of God is a
great
good
film.
Movie. Yeah,
great film.
Good movie. Good movie.
Nice bastards.
But 14, I wouldn't have it.
14 a little high.
I don't think it's 14.
Yeah,
I think
really high.
That's one of the
Keep
best.
going.
For instance, like a movie like Gladiator is at like 95 or something.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Children of
that's
Men
way
should be
too
up
high.
there.
Children of Men, good movie.
I don't think they hold Gladiator as high as the
13.
audience
It's
does.
not 13.
There's a lot of Alfonso Cuarón appearances on this list.
Yeah, they're big fans of
You know,
him.
he directed the best Harry Potter movie.
Yes, he did. Yep,
hands down. Best soundtrack, best directing.
It wasn't even fucking close, man. Yeah.
Zone of Interest, get the fuck out of here. It shouldn't be on the 100. Get out. Go.
No, come on.
Not that high.
No.
This is why I'm saying like we had to look at it because it's
too high.
A little bit huge.
This is fucking ridiculous.
It's a good movie, but come on.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's exceptionally shot, and the directing is great. But this is
feminist propaganda.
This should not be this high on the list.
Feminist garbage is what this is.
It really is like
it's feminist garbage.
Patient zero for the era we're in. It is.
Yeah,
and you know what?
Social
So
Network.
is Logan a little bit. Social Networks. That's a good movie.
They have a big boner for Alfonso.
There's gonna be a Social Network too.
And
Fincher,
David Fincher. Yeah.
Spirited Away is really good.
Spirited Away is fantastic. Spirited Away is fantastic.
Spirited Away, solid,
good.
Top 10. Okay.
Cool.
I have
That's
no idea what
Shad's totally against that.
No.
I am getting misrepresented. I
No.
like Ghibli. All right. I never said I didn't.
Well,
I thought you were gonna defend Get Out.
that's a little lazy and uninspired,
Get Out,
in my opinion.
Top 10.
Yacht style?
Keep going.
What are we doing?
But the animation's a top tier.
Good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Not top 10.
Not top 10, but
It's funny because it would be like impossible for any of us to make our top 10 list.
this is true. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, if any of us would put our top 10 and then this panel read it, we'd be like, "Fuck this! This doesn't belong on here."
I'm
No
okay with
Country
this
for
one
Old Men
being in the
is a
top
great
10.
movie.
This one deserves it.
Yep.
Call it.
Yeah,
of course.
I never saw
Gay
it.
black guy movies got to be way up there. Nothing Hollywood loves more than
I've never seen
gay
this.
Fetishizing
This
like
one
black
did this
men
win the
in
Oscar?
some way, yeah.
Wait, did this win the Oscar or whatever?
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah, it definitely won an Oscar. They're like, the gay black guy, give him all the awards.
Well, isn't that the one they made the mistake on?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And they were calling it
It's very racist.
Yeah.
Ooh, I never saw this one either.
I've not seen this.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Shout out to X-Ray Girl.
One card. She's in a lot.
out.
Ooh.
There will be
Good
blood.
movie.
Yep.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Solid movie.
Yep.
That's 3, 2.
Oh, that's
good
a
movie.
movie.
Oh,
That's a
Good
fucking
movie.
masterpiece right there. That is a fucking great movie.
2001.
Yeah.
Mulholland
Never
Drive
seen
is
it.
I was watching it for a
phenomenal.
lot of different reasons, but yeah.
I put Mulholland
No.
Drive above Parasite for
This is
sure.
fucking
Mulholland
I
Drive
haven't-
is amazing.
I haven't seen Parasite, so it's
Parasite is a very good movie.
It's
really
very
good.
good.
It's
Very, very good.
exceptionally well done. It's shot well. It's very well acted, but it is 100% because it's a foreign film that they put it that high. They're like,
I personally would not be mad if Mulholland Drive was number one. I've never seen Parasite though, so I can't judge it.
That's
but
David Lynch, man.
Mulholland
RIP.
Drive is amazing.
Yeah.
I
They
love
had,
that.
The Departed was like 29. That's one of my favorites. I'd bump that
Departed is
bitch.
fucking
Yeah, I
great.
would
Are
too.
you saying
I would too.
are you saying there's something wrong with putting Parasite at number 1?
Oh,
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Lord of the Rings. No, that came out. When
No,
did
Return of the King is 20 in 21st
Return of the
century.
King definitely came out in this.
the
century.
Return of the King should be number one then.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Return of the
I'd
King
be
should be
okay
number
with
one.
Yeah.
where did that land?
Where's that?
What's that war movie that starts with a
If it's not even in
Dunkirk?
the
That should
top
be up
100,
here.
this list is shit because it's from the New York Times anyway. Piece of crap.
Pretentious.
There are a
This
lot
list-
of pretentious,
Not on the list. It's not on the
Fucking
list.
get this list out of here. It's fucking bogus.
Wait, what's not on the list?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is not on the list.
That's wild,
Yeah,
bro.
it's, just so you understand,
Hello.
Black
Yeah.
Panther is on this list.
Yeah.
Is Whiplash on the list?
no.
Because Whiplash is fucking phenomenal too.
Okay, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring is 87.
Fuck off.
87.
Come
Two
on.
Towers. Two Towers not on the list. Return of the not on the list.
That's why I think the
Okay,
cumulative list on IMDb of like fan voting is at least a good. It's a lot better to look at that list. I think like if you look at like the top 20, like yeah, you might want to move some of them around, but if you look at like the top 20 movies, I don't think there's a movie in the top 20 that you could say, man, this movie's garbage.
If you go to what are they? Yeah, what are they basing it on? Return of the
You have
King.
to find some way to be able to sort by the amount of reviews as well, right? Because there could be stuff that's so niche or things like that. So if stuff has 200, 250, 300,000 votes, then yeah, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, I mean, but it tells you how many votes each.
There you
movie
go.
has. So
yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? So,
but that's not 21st century. But the thing, the problem
this is all time. This is overall.
So, so that would mean
that's more
Knight-
like it.
Yeah,
That's way more like it.
But that would mean The Dark Knight is the best movie of the last 25 years.
No, that's ridiculous.
And The Dark Knight, I think, has the most votes of any movie.
Fight Club's great.
Return of the King had almost the most Academy nominations, wins, best box office. Best
Amelia Perez.
Amelia Perez would have swept if it wasn't for a couple tweets. God damn it!
I don't know what the fuck that
We
is,
almost
though.
had
What
a
was that 20th
dude win Best Actress.
That would be so funny.
We made it, boys.
Yeah.
We're better at everything.
Let's get
Bro,
this
I would have
so-
just I would have been celebrating that shit. Like, look at that. We can
All
win any
roads
award
lead
we
to
want.
patriarchy.
The only I think
I
somebody
had
said
that
in the
video
chat,
ready, and then those tweets landed. I'm like, God,
There's one
damn it.
major issue with the IMDb list that I think Terminator 2 should be top 10, probably, if not top 5. Terminator 2 is just one of the greatest movies ever
it's
made.
a very good movie.
It really is. Like I've never met a person that doesn't like Terminator 2. I don't even think I've met a person that says Terminator 2 is overrated, which
I
is
know
very
a person
rare.
that doesn't like Terminator 2.
Who?
T-1000.
Get an A for effort with that one.
No, I'll give it to him. That's a good one.
No, that was good.
Oh, Oh my God, all these ads. What the hell?
Yeah, it's so weird, man. I don't know what they're doing with that. But it was weird. So when I was live, you guys were saying I was the only one that had it, but then somebody told me Kirsha's chat had it. So some chats didn't have it, and then I did, and then Kirsha had it. So
it's going to take a while to roll out. That's the whole deal.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. And I shot a message to my partner manager. I'm like, I hate this. Make it stop, please.
He's like, well, as you asked.
Yeah, sure. Oh, of course. At Austin Guy has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you very much. And I'm not going to do this. Ishidlo for 50. Fellow bros, son of Tardo, see Ironheart, rerun is ironic, and the hood is the hood, wearing hoods surrounded by hoods. Marvel writers capture urban experience. Cali speak gay, bros. Remind me of Pooh. Lock it in. Yay. Hail chat 199 and fellow urbans. Thank you.
That's tough for me to It's tough for me to tell whether that's Fear the Tardo or whether those are the people that are making hate videos about us, just based on the
Let's go through some of your emails, Gary.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Just have to censor the slurs.
I got too many super chats.
Yeah, I gotta read super chat. I can probably read a lot of people are like, I feel sad for you, and like they start out with like, what wrong with you in your life, and at the end they go, I can't wait for you to die.
Yeah, they say that when they can't think of a roast or anything nasty or creative to say. They go,
I know.
Bad for you.
My wife was keeping track of them because we were gonna. Maybe we'll read them next week. We'll see if we have time.
I mean, people with victim complexes would be, parading that on the top of their Twitter feed. It's like, see, they're all evil.
Yeah. Somebody just super chat said they rented Mahoney Drive. I think they meant Mulholland Drive, and they said if it sucks, I'm coming after you, Jeremy. Listen, Lynch is a whole different animal. Like, some people do not like David Lynch shit. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's a certain type of. You've got to just understand what you're getting into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of a director that has a style, Denis Villeneuve.
Yes.
Bond.
God. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys
we
didn't even
do
talk
need
about F1, by the way.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll do it. We're okay. Denis Villeneuve is directing Bond. Villeneuve.
I really like Denis Villeneuve.
Yes,
I do too.
Yeah,
I like him too.
Great pick.
This is good news. I mean, it's overall good news. I would have picked a couple of other directors. My only concern is he's very, very serious. His movies aren't fun.
Good.
His movies aren't fun. No, I think Bond needs to have a little element of fun and levity, which I don't see, and I don't know how different it will be from Sam Mendes.
Right.
Yeah. It's gonna be very similar.
I think, when he said he loved Dune, he tried to nail Dune and the theme of Dune. I think if he likes Bond as much as he says he does,
He said that.
I think
He did. He said
it's really
sacred.
prizes the-
It's sacred, which
then
I
think
like.
that he's going to stick to that, and I legit think we'll probably get like gadgets and some of the fun shit that we've gotten and been missing from other Bonds.
Really hope so.
So what's interesting,
Amy
Gary?
Pascal's the producer.
I saw that
So.
you said you would have rather Nolan gotten it, and I think Nolan would have the same problem as Denny in terms of he's a little too serious.
I think Variety said
I don't want him
they
either.
tried to get Nolan. They were going to give it to him, but they were willing to give him the final cut. He didn't want it, so Dennis doesn't get the final
Give it to
cut.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, so that was
Give it
from
to Guy
Variety.
Ritchie.
Variety
Yeah,
said
Guy
Amazon
Ritchie.
was interested in having Nolan direct the next Bond film and was willing to give him final cut. They ultimately, according to Variety, they said they ultimately chose Denis. I don't know if Nolan turned them down.
Nolan turned it down from the reports I saw. Yeah.
Okay, and so
He
and
probably
then
doesn't want to do
Villeneuve
properties anymore.
And
Guy
Villeneuve doesn't
Ritchie's
have
already
final
made
cut.
a Bond film.
Yes, he has. A Guy Ritchie would.
It's called The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, Man from
It was
U.N.C.L.'s
great.
fucking awesome.
It's
I,
great. It was
I
great.
think. Listen, what's one of Nolan's favorite movies? Jeremy.
Bond.
Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, he loves Talladega Nights. You're right.
He does have a
Yes,
sense of humor.
Just
So
fucking
I
weird.
think, like,
Yeah, but he can't make Talladega Nights.
no, he can't.
no,
I
he
mean-
can't. But
I mean-
I don't
I mean,
think.
And I'd like to be able to hear.
Denis
after I
Villeneuve
watch
is
it.
very serious.
Nolan's level of comedy is so that's what that feels like. You know, like it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Where's
some good humor in Inception? Come on.
Yeah.
Where's the levity in fucking Blade Runner 2049 or Dune or there is none?
I will say he did
Blade Runner, the first one though.
He did trick Joseph Gordon-Levitt into kissing a dude apparently in Inception. So with Ellen Page.
That was a long one right there. That was that bitch was in there.
So I think this is good news, and all we have to do is wait for the cat. It all depends on the casting, so we can hear all the talk we want. This is sacred territory, which I love hearing, and all the respect. But it all depends on the casting. And James Bond is a straight white British dude, and not one built like a fucking pencil. Not a Timothy Chalamet. He's a fucking man.
I have already seen people putting Tom Holland out there as their number one pick, and I'm like,
that was Variety.
Tom Holland's gonna look like a 19-year-old kid for the rest of his life. Okay,
no, he looks like a 19-year-old, 70-year-old. It's weird.
Do we know who's writing this?
They haven't got a writer. They haven't got a script, and they're not officially going to cast until they get a script. Gotcha. I don't believe, but they did put like a short list of 3 people that the studio might already be interested in. So.
Okay.
Is one of them that dude from Ironheart?
Yeah, Jacob Elordi, Tom Ironheart, Harris Dickinson. I don't know if they got
Tom Holland. Come on, get out of it.
What? No.
I don't like any of them.
No,
I don't like any of these guys.
I don't like any of them.
This guy the closest. I've never seen him in anything, but he's the closest to looking like a Bond.
They should just man up and cast Henry Cavill, and everyone.
Not gonna happen. They're not gonna
do a younger Bond.
They want somebody young that they can keep in this role for as long as they possibly can. You know?
Yep. So it's probably not. Well, maybe Aaron Taylor John. What's his name? From
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. Maybe he'd be good. He'd be good.
He could do it. No, he could do it. Yeah, he could.
He'd be good.
The one
I just don't think he has the charisma. He's not got the charisma.
Ryan Gosling.
No.
He looks like a young Ryan Gosling.
He's not. He's American.
I think James Gunn should do it.
And the guy on the right looks like him.
The guy on the right looks like Bond. I
bring his dog into it.
Real quick, who here saw F1?
I did.
I want to see it this weekend. We want to see it.
Saw it this morning.
All right. Well, I mean, we're not going to spoil anything. There's not much to spoil. Guess what? There's some racing in it. Okay.
I thought you were going to say racist.
Oh wait, racism.
Racism.
If it was racism.
Don't try and steal our day of
They
thunder.
go to Italy at one point, so yeah, there's definitely some racism in it. But
yeah.
Is it as good as? I know it's a little bit different, but you loved Ford versus Ferrari, like I did.
Loved it. Totally different movie.
But it's totally different movie. Okay.
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari is like an interpersonal story and a father-son story.
And this is straight up racing.
This is straight up an old guy who was a phenom through some bad circumstances, never really realized his potential at a very late age, has one more chance to win, and he's teamed up with the young, arrogant driver with a lot of potential, but not a lot of discipline, and
sports movie.
And yeah, it's a sports movie, and the organization is they've never fucking won anything. Somebody's working behind the scenes against them, and they just need a win.
Is it the Jordan team?
They just need a win, or they're going to be done. They're going to be out of, and I don't know that much about F1, so they're going to be out of whatever organization there is.
They're going to get sold. Yeah.
They're going to get sold. So the last ditch effort, they find Brad Pitt's character to come in and drive, and it's just about trying to save this racing team. That's all it is. There's a couple of there's in the pit crew, there's a girl. I think they actually handled this one pretty well because she fucks up a lot. And it could have been potentially like really like your typical intersectional feminist moment, but it wasn't. I think they dealt with that pretty well. There's also the first woman car designer, and they make
make sure to tell you.
They make sure to tell you a couple of times, but that's it. Like, and
there any gays in the movie?
No, and she's actually a good character. She's actually a good character.
She's a very good character, yeah.
There's nothing groundbreaking about this movie. It is a sports movie.
That's why it works.
But that's why it works. You don't have to fucking reinvent the wheel here. This
movie feels like a 90s film with just shot with like the modern camera stuff, modern camera techniques.
Modern
it's
gear.
Yeah.
We've got some breaking good news, by the way. Taika Waititi's live-action Akira film is over. It's
that's
not
great.
happening.
Yeah,
Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, WB lost the rights.
I very much want to see this. I used to watch Formula One back in the day, so I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. And
I think you'll like it. It's good. I think you'll like it. It's
the good
really...
thing about this is it drops the boring bits of Formula One.
Yes.
So it is more action orientated. It's not you watching a lap go round and just the order doesn't change for half an hour. It skips to the interesting bits. And I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did because I can't sit there for that many times watching people not overtake each other. But it hypes up the more entertaining parts of the crashes, the overtaking, the strategy. Is the bit I really like.
Speed in Formula One.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like,
it starts out. Hey, Jeremy, it starts out in Daytona, doing the 24-hour Daytona thing. That's what
24 hours of Daytona. Yeah.
Is Bernie Eccleston in it at all? Do they get Bernie to do a cameo?
Who?
No, it has one of the current commentators. He does the entire. Sports
they have like
Martin Brundle. Martin Brundle?
Yes, him.
Oh!
Throughout the entire movie, he's commentating.
As long as does Lewis Hamilton making a cameo?
Yes. Well, he's the producer on the movie.
Fuck Lewis Hamilton. He's a woke piece of shit.
He's in it for a few seconds. I think you see him getting out of a car.
The other thing that's really cool.
Hemsworth is in it too. For like half a second.
For like half a second.
Because he's in the real crowd. Because they shot this during real races. In between real races.
Okay.
The cool thing is too, like they do some really cool stuff with like the camera to keep the energy throughout the whole film. The camera like never sits still for very long. It's constantly moving or doing cuts to different spots. They also do some really cool like shots with the racing, like from like the perspective of the car, perspective of the racer, then like an outside perspective, and it's constantly clipping. So there's never like a time where you feel like, oh God, I'm still sitting here doing this.
Like, did you notice that when they're in the racing for most of the movie, it feels like a little claustrophobic, like it's supposed to, like you're actually in that car, but then at the end they make a change. They make it like, so they do real directing in this that you notice.
That last sequence is so good, dude.
So fucking good.
The sound design, everything is so
You see this in IMAX, dude. Like absolutely 100% see this in IMAX.
This is built for IMAX. I did not see it in IMAX. When I got done, I looked over at Josiah. I was like, dude, this would have been so much better in IMAX. The sound design is you can tell it's for like IMAX film. But it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Brad Pitt's great.
He carries the movie.
Yes,
I liked him from the very first moment. Where that guy's, I'm not going to spoil it. Guy's walking up to him and he's just completely calm, and then it cuts to something else. I'm like, this guy's awesome. Like the moment he said that, I'm like, it's a great character.
And it even has like some of the like 80s, 90s cheese at certain points. Without spoiling anything, like there's like a moment where you're like, okay, are they going to do the thing that they do in like a movie? And they like absolutely do this thing
100%,
and you're like, holy shit, they did it. And it's like, dude, the music's great in it. I
starts out with Led Zeppelin, dude. It opens up to Led Zeppelin. That's not bad.
No. They do a really good job of you're never lost in the movie, because you'll be in the cameras, but you think, well, that you could get lost to the positions and stuff, but then it's cutting to a scoreboard, then you've got a map showing where the distance is, then you've got the people in the pits discussing with the drivers what's happening, so it's in context, like keeping you informed about the next strategy that's coming up and everything.
The exposition is like phenomenally done, because you always know where you're at and what's happening, and it never feels like some guy had to read off a script to tell you what's happening in the movie. So
they managed to make swapping tires interesting, which is not something I expected.
Yes, they did. It's like I really liked it.
It's my favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
Yes.
If they
so far, well, there hasn't been much, but
this is the kind of movie that people used to go to the theaters to see. Like, and if they kept doing this, people would start going back to the theaters. This was worth going to see in the theater. It was worth the theater experience, and this would be the pill that you need to remind audiences, this is why we go to the movies, guys. Like, I was really happy with
the audience I went with loved it. They were walking out, that was really good, and again, I went with my entire family and they all loved it. And my son, my older son who hates everything, loved it. So, respect, by the way. He's all, that was actually good. It was the first good movie I've seen in 10 years.
Well, good. I want to go check it out.
Love my big boy. So Jeremy, you'll love it, dude. I think you'll love it.
Oh yeah.
So everybody here see it. I highly recommend it, and in the theater if you can get to IMAX. It's a good time at the movies. Don't expect anything groundbreaking, and that's why, like Disparu said, that's why it works. They took a formula and used it perfectly. That's all.
Yep. It's called the Formula One.
But it is one of those things where
that was so bad I didn't even courtesy laugh. That was so bad.
But where people like stick to the source material, if they'd stuck to the source material of Formula One, this would have been awful. They had to let go of some of the more serious and like realistic parts to make the movie entertaining. And so I know a lot of people are like, well, there's too much contact, but that's what makes the movie.
And Javier Bardem is a great fucking actor, dude. Like he's in it and he plays the owner, and it's a normal part, but like you see like actors with charisma who like know what the fuck they're doing can carry parts of a movie that would, like, a normal actor would just be terrible, right? So like well done on all counts, and the directing is fucking amazing.
Top
like
notch,
it's top notch shit. So this how do you pronounce his name? It's not Kaczynski.
Denis Villeneuve.
No, guy who did Top Gun Maverick. Guy who did Top Gun Maverick is now a top. Although I can't remember his name, is now a top tier director. He is.
This is kind of Mavericky in the way that the story set out.
It is.
Kaczynski,
Kaczynski, yeah.
Well, Tom Cruise is plays in this thing too.
Yeah, I think if you like Maverick, you'll like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's one of those things like that. Yeah, you're not gonna. This isn't gonna like blow anybody's minds, but this is what it used to be. You had good movies in the theater, and then occasionally one would just kind of rise above the rest. But the bar was really high. Like this set the bar high again for like good movies.
I hope it makes fucking money. I'm watching it this weekend. I've heard such good things. I hope it actually makes money. It was very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive to make. So it's so crowded in June and July, but we'll see.
Maybe it's
premium format screens for like a week.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna bounce on that note. So I got video games to play tonight. So yeah.
No, there'll be some World War III. World War IV will start tonight.
Dark 4. Maybe Dark 5.
Civil War 3, World War IV will start tonight.
I'm gonna play as the Superman skin in Fortnite, so that'll probably be the best. That'll probably be the best thing we'll get from James Gunn Superman is the fucking Fortnite skin that it gives us.
There we go.
So, all right, later, guys. Have a good one.
Later, brother.
I do have to depart. Yes, but massive thank you. Saints and Sinners has just hit 9,500 copies.
Let's
sold.
fucking go.
That's great.
That's awesome, man.
And we've still got 3 weeks to go, 21 days to go. The road to 10,000 is being fucking annihilated like a road in Death Stranding. I don't know, kind of topical. I don't know. So massive thank you to everyone who supported it. And if you find it in your heart to, that'd be amazing. I'm off to continue my review of IronSHART episode 3.
Have fun.
I won't.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. So I did it all in one video.
Oh, I have to go too. Oh my goodness. I'm actually really excited to see F1. I'm gonna try to take the stepson to it. That's not rated R, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
If it's even PG-13, I think that might be too high. It's a very family-friendly movie.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Looking forward to more Ironheart. Not. And I'll see everybody next week.
Bye, Chrissy.
Bye.
See ya, Chrissy.
For those of you who hung out, so my book, we're gonna release it. The pre-sale, it's not release it. The pre-sale will start sometime around the release of Superman. So we're working. Nice. It's probably the Friday. That's what we're shooting for. So we got to do a little work on the launch trailer, and we got a couple other things to work out. Eric and his team are working hard behind the scenes, but that's when we're gonna announce the pre-sale for the book.
Yeah.
The book's all done. All right, so the book is done. So it'll be just pre-sale, and then we'll talk about like when it gets released and stuff. But that's when it comes out. So
what's
awesome.
What's the plan with the audio version?
Audio version, once we do the pre-sale and we start fulfilling, which will be, I'm guessing, within a couple of months, then I start. Then I'll start. I'm going to probably start in August to do it. And the way I read, it'll be out in 2032. No, I'm going to start doing it. And yeah, that'll be fun. I'm going to riff a lot on it. So we'll see how long it is. But yeah, that's the deal. So I will keep you guys updated. We'll probably have a firm date on next Friday, and it'll be a couple weeks. All right, let's get the soups. Let's get the soups and go. Yeah, again, go see F1. It was rad.
Yes. I was looking at his the director. He directed Tron Legacy.
Yes, which I love.
And his first director credit was Gears of War Mad World, that old commercial. You remember that?
Dude, that commercial was great.
It's a killer commercial.
It was so good, dude. Yeah.
So he is yeah. Oh boy. God, what the hell's going on here?
What'd you do now?
Can you see me? There we go.
Yeah.
I turned on the camera and it didn't turn on.
So. Now you're frozen.
No, there you go.
No,
I'm frozen.
There we go.
Yeah, you were frozen. But you're good now.
Am I back? Okay, let's go.
Soups.
Let's go. Rolling the Wretched. 4 parts for $100. What's up? So a video landed in my YouTube timeline this week, and at first I thought Iran had taken an American hostage, and then I realized it was just Chris Gore giving his review of episode 4 of Ironhearted. I am betting he wished he had was being held hostage. Chris's video is great. Go watch it. His edited
so it got taken down.
Well, yes,
it's 4 to 6 one.
Yes, it did. It did. I don't know if I can elaborate. I'll let Chris elaborate. You can ask all questions. Go to Chris Gore on that one. But yes, it was.
He has said why, because I know, and he hasn't told me.
Okay.
So he said on a stream he got an email from Disney.
He got an email from Disney, yes, because of the spoilers. And it's like, well, didn't you say the embargo lifted? Was it a semi-embargo? What the hell was going on? But
I think the embargo. Mind, I saw reviews that were reviewing the final 3 episodes.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch.
Yeah.
Wow.
All Variety and everyone. Well, IGN. They all
got
reviewed
an
them.
angry email from Disney. Poor Frank. Poor Frank. My wife is always trying to get me to improve, and the other day she told me I should embrace my mistakes. Pause for dramatic effect and don't read this. I just did, motherfucker. So I gave her a hug. In case you are wondering, I have been married for 28 years and counting. Okay. Well, good for her. She deserves a medal, Roland. Okay. That woman's obviously a saint.
Wow.
Come watch Ian hang out with Tash tonight while he plays Fail Guard. He failed to torture me last week because after something is done to me once, I take the Ryan Kinnell approach and stop giving a fuck. Well, you can stop giving a fuck before something happens to you.
There's that too.
Yeah. Ryan is teaching me well, and I hope he is proud of me. He's not. I promise you, Ryan doesn't give a fuck. That's part of not giving a fuck, Roland. Today's read is Proverbs 2:6. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and racism. Hail FNQ, Fellowship, Chat, Mods, Little Thor, and rest in peace, Pizza Time Pizza. Dan Vosk has his biggest hit with Norfolka until Man Buns Are Gay comes out. That's true.
Yep.
If that charts, that would be so fucking funny.
Dude.
It would be so fucking funny. Until next time, so long, gay boys. Yeah, we need Man Buns Are Gay to chart. And congratulations on Norfolka for charting on the rock charts, Amazon.
Yeah.
Eric July, well done.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well done, Eric. That Brazilian rainforest burners riding your coattails, man.
Yeah.
Just saying. No, Man Buns Are Gay charts. The FNT theme charted. You recall, guys?
It did, yeah.
It beat fucking Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And
on the album,
Can you imagine being them and looking it up? Like, what the hell is this?
I would be fucking furious. Yeah. The hell's an FNT?
Yep.
And it's just an image of us riding on fat ass.
I know.
Mostly naked too.
Andrew CR on the Streamlabs side for $69.69. Whatever happened to that dude?
I don't know.
Jack Posobiec? No, Jack.
No.
What was his name?
Dorsey.
Murphy?
No.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack
Murphy.
Jack Dorsey on
Jack
Twitter.
Murphy.
Jack Murphy.
Yeah.
Jack Murphy
Dorsey
took
on
a
Twitter.
dildo in his ass.
Oh,
I said it as a joke, and
69,
Gary was like,
69.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Miki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Miki.
Yeah, thanks.
Cute.
Something you wanted to explain there, Mike?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
Speaking of Miki, I am always improving my English. This week, I learnt the word. You say it, X-Ray Girl.
I feel weird saying it.
I'm not gonna...
Chiggers.
Hey, we had a whole explanation of that on our show. Normal.
Thanks, normal world. Yeah, you say it, Garrett.
Those are bugs. You walk through some long grass, and they can get on you. Yeah.
Dirty chiggers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Disgusting
Garrett,
girl.
for the explanation.
I hear that. I hear that bite because they want reparations and Air Jordans. Oops, sorry, wrong Google search. Miki gets a lot of gay jokes, but he hasn't seen Shad giving his friends the old Australian kiss. It's like French, but down under.
That is fake news. Do not believe these lies. What the hell is
that? Was better than I was expecting. That joke.
That's crazy, bro. That's wild.
Yes, that's disgusting and gay, but less disgusting and less gay than liking Twilight. Hail, retards! I gotta go back. I have it on a different. Never mind. I don't even need.
I put it right here on front page.
You did it. It's not on front page.
Easily accessed.
I love that was a last minute addition to our video.
It was so good,
and I've gotten the most emails on that. They're like, "I love it." Yeah. The Hodge Twins producers like that. That was great. D-Mile 45 for $100. She's celebrating retirement today after 42 years as a software developer. Oh my God! Enjoy part of my social security now. Now I can tune into you crazies more often. Too bad it is on a week. Only Disparu can love discussing Ironheart. I love it.
I did too.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Flashbacks to Robin Hood all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need the director to come out and attack me. That's all I want now.
Christ, at least it's something to talk about. Like Hollywood's been dead this year. So
yeah.
Sentinel Rex 4,600 for $50. Thank you very much. Hey Gary, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I think I found a brother you are unaware of today at my store. He is 39, looks just like you, and grew up in San Diego and Coronado. Looks like you down to the beard, glasses, hair color. I'm positive. Well,
the guy that was on that bus in California on the news.
Maybe. God, that was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to one of my moms and say, what's up?
It did look just fucking like you, man.
It did. When somebody showed me, I'm like, what the fuck?
It looked exactly like you.
It even it was wearing my
you sat, like everything of the posture. It looked like
he's wearing one of my fucking jackets too. So I have a blue jacket from my auto shop days that I wear, and it looked just like that.
So weird.
Yeah.
Is this where we find out time travel's real? And he just didn't want to bump into you.
JTMC Murdy for 50. Mike and Jeremy on FNT. Is it Friday the 13th? The full moon? Is the asteroid coming? Holy cow. No, only when Beardo's coming on.
Yeah, it's the end of Pride Month. That's why we're both.
Yeah, there you go. Ministry of Wrong Think for $49.99. Last time I saw something this racist in the MCU, a boatload of Africans drowned on their way to invade the Western nation. The shills are saying Ironheart is lit. Can someone chug some more gasoline in the dumpster to get it over with already? Well, that's what Ironheart is. Ironheart is absolutely that.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it was brought up before. The most stereotypical, dumbest racist thing they've done in Wakanda Forever when they were lifting the force field, they had fucking DJs lifting the force field.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Turntables and drums.
Drums. So retarded.
Joshki 2 for $49.99. Riri Dunning-Kruger of Superheroes. Riri Dunning-Kruger of Superheroes. Thank you. Stuart Mulvaney has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Hey, we're doing some Clarkson's Farm this weekend. I'm going to clap like Riri Williams. This weekend, we're doing some Clarkson Farm. 2 Knowing Ravens for $50 says, Epic Mike, let's fucking go. They call him Mr. 2 times. The rest of you are all right. I'll take that. I will take that. Frank Casamento, Frank Casamento 74 has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. What's up, Frank? What's up, Frank? Thanks for being here. You know what sucks is we can't get Ryan Kindle jokes now because of this change, right?
Yeah.
We can't get Ryan Kindle.
to YouTube.
Well, Streamlabs. There's one Ryan Kindle Streamlabs.
There is. Let's find it.
Here, I'll make it pink.
I talked to the person who makes these, and they're like,
Did you?
I did. And they said, I'm running out of jokes. I need to find some more. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. Ryan Kindle on the Streamlabs side for $10. I'm glad the new bill in Congress supports the Second Amendment, but not for the regular personal protection, liberty, and Second Amendment reasons. I'm pro-gun because I enjoy a world with just 4 Nirvana albums.
Oh my God.
It's
too soon, man.
It's not too soon. It has been it has been 30 years since he blew his brains out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He was never going to make. Remember, before he blew his brains out, he was in the hospital for trying to kill himself before that with drugs. So, and he had just gotten out. And I remember at the time going, he's not going to last very long. And it wasn't very long. What really sucked, I think it was right around the same time John Candy died. It was like within a few months of each other.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 97, Phil Hartman died. That one was bad, dude.
Yeah.
Coked up, crazy wife.
Yeah, especially the
shooting
way
you in bed. Jesus Christ. Oh well, when did Chris Farley die?
96, 7.
Here's another one we all knew wasn't going to last long.
Yeah.
Yep.
97.
97. So we lost Hartman and Farley in 97.
That's a rough year.
It was not as rough as 2016, where we lost pretty much half the celebrities. So,
yeah.
Angel Lopez for $10 says, "Hey guys, watching Clark screaming, 'Where's the dog, loser?' just to reflect James Gunn's current California writing. He turns Superman into a blue-haired temper tantrum beta. Worst representation of a role model." That's the way it comes off to a lot of people. And
did you say loser? Did you read that, or is that what is typed? He said Luther, right?
No, he said loser. It's the way it's typed, but he said loser.
Loser.
It's supposed to be Luther.
Oh yeah. I just didn't know if that was a
no. It's how it's typed, and I'm fucking Ron Burgundy. I'll read it. So you know how it goes, Ryan. 5 gifted memberships from Misasong for $25. Thank you very much. And 5 gifted memberships from Razorhead for $25. Thank you very much. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got a few more minutes. We can go. I guess news on Rumble next week. That's not really any news now. Sorry.
Can't say anything.
Can't
You
say
just
anything
released
till next week.
an announcement for an announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody else is doing
This is
it.
the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
When you watch
Before
the
the trailer.
trailer, and the first 3 seconds is what's going to happen during the trailer before the
Hate that
trailer.
shit.
You know.
Yeah,
That's
I just
so
did that
annoying.
to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. But
You didn't have to hide your face in shame. It wasn't that bad.
now, Mike Big Mad, I got a Switch 2 coin as well. You got a Switch 2. What's a Switch 2 coin?
Mike.
No, he's gone.
Mike,
He
got
lost
something
the opportunity.
For ordering a Switch 2, he got some fucking coin. I don't even know what he's talking about. He's really happy about it. but like some commemorative. Oh, I'm one of the first people in the world that got this thing. I don't fucking know. Stupid.
Bit of plastic tat.
He's very happy about it though. I'm happy for him.
We all are.
We all are.
I'm not.
Make Ryan go to
Nice, Disparu.
Flug Tag. What's that? The Red Bull show. Advertise your stuff on the side of their craft. Send him out to be in it. I bet he screams on the way down. What's a flug? What am I don't know.
Is that where you like run off the pier? They do for Red Bull. They like build different things and they fly off the side of the pier.
Super Mastermind for $20. Thank you very much.
Oh, why? I mean, I don't. That sounds like a lot of fucking.
Oh, it
effort.
is.
Yeah, like Ryan's like, pay me and I'll go.
Yeah, you got to sponsor.
Yeah. I could figure out something. Why would I scream on the way down?
It's not. I thought you said flood tag. It's Flugtag. It means flying day in German.
It's okay. Well, I don't have an umlaut right there. I just got FLUGTAG, so it looks like Flugtag. Flugtag. You want the Flugentag?
That sounds.
Now I want to see. Now I want to see Beer Fest. I fucking love that movie.
It's Swedish.
It's so good.
That sounded a lot more Swedish than German.
It did.
It really did.
What's the fucking difference?
They're all the same. All those whiteys.
All those whiteys. Yeah. Oh, Gary, you're a Padres fan. As a Dodgers fan, all I got to say is, well, fuck you. You know what your team does? Like fucking tries to lie about ice and virtue signal. Your woke little fucking baseball team could eat shit.
Yeah, there's never any pride night at Padres.
Yeah, it's fucking. You know what? I might become a Rangers fan.
The only team that hasn't had it.
Love Bochy.
Fuck the Dodgers, dude. All the fucking money that they've like distributed over the next several years. They're like not paying these guys anything now. They're gonna owe so much later. But yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
Yeah, and their best player fucking rolled on his friend for gambling and just like let him take it. Yeah, there you go.
I don't care about that.
I know. Gary built this with the parts he had to smuggle into his jail cell.
Jeez.
You'd be surprised what you can smuggle into a jail cell. Just don't get your cell searched.
I like how some of the names are getting so difficult to like understand now because they're all mushed together that Gary just doesn't say who it is. It just
I can't.
Reading. He just starts reading the message.
Is it prison?
That was Gunnar 6674. That was Gunnar 66. TJ Jordan 4207 for $10 says, I cannot wait to see what you guys will dress up for Halloween this year, especially after a year when Gary dressed up as a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude, and Jeremy looked like he came straight off the set of The Purge 6. Well, I was Captain African American this last year. And Ryan was Black Panther, you know. I mean, like,
I was last year I was Black Ghost.
You were Black Ghost.
Yeah.
That's right.
I totally forgot that we were dressed up for Halloween, and I was somewhere else. I don't know where the fuck I was. So I just went out and got a black bed sheet, and I was a race swap ghost.
Everybody thought you were a Muslim woman, but you were a race swap. That's right. And then year before, I was Miles Morales, and you were Black Panther. So
I might be able to find I still got might have my Black Panther shit around. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll figure out something fun. We got a couple months to think about it. The real not short and blind Ian K here. I found the Unsub podcast group through you guys and would love to see them guest here, especially with Ryan. I will talk to Eli. We've already discussed it. We will get him on. We'll get somehow we'll get all three of them on. I don't know how, but
that would be awesome.
Good dudes. Hey guys, I'll have the lyrics for my real BBC intro song done soon. Cool. Does anyone know of any vocalists that would be willing to work with a small timer like me? Nice coin, Miki. But you're gay. Says Mechanism Studios for $10. Well, you don't want Dan Vass because he's probably expensive and super gay and impossible to work with.
Very gay and Brazilian. Yeah.
So he's a singer, is he? And is
anybody? Well, Ryan can sing.
Yeah, and actually, Ryan can sing.
Yeah. Give him enough to drink. He's really
is
good.
Is the super chatter a singer? Seeing if people
they need vocalists for our real BBC song. So
because I am looking for a vocalist right now. Message me. Like if you got the right voice.
So after the guy asks, is there anybody, like the guy sends a super chat to ask if he can find a vocalist, and Shad's like, yo, fuck that guy.
How about you work with me instead?
I missed half the super chat, so I thought he was the vocalist looking for work. But okay.
No, I thought there was like a vocalist last week that was looking for work.
No, that was
he
was a instrumentalist, like a digital composer, which I also need. But anyway.
Now you all have a 3/4 of one black guy. #progress. This is Patrick Merlin for $2.
One more quarter and we're there.
And it was just to piss off a white guy. The F1 movie in IMAX is the anti-Schlurpo, says Yoda's BFF. I agree. YouTube is lame and gay, says Darth Gavel for $2. Today it is for sure.
Yeah.
Ironheart makes that Tommy Was So movie, The Room, look like Citizen Kane. It does. There's actually a better Ironheart movie out there. It's a Japanese porn.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably has a better story.
Yeah.
The Miki has inherited the earth, says Warbriar 247 for $2.
Thanks.
Epic Miki better eat a whole cake on FNT, says Eric K-Mod.
Imagine if you
have you done that?
It's just like,
that's Eric K.
Extreme.
So that was Eric K, and it came off as Eric K Mod.
Miki again.
Yeah,
there's obviously a story behind this Miki.
No, it's just a real fucking problem.
Yeah,
all right.
What is it?
I don't fucking know why they keep calling me.
This is why you don't say things for a price and then people pay it and then you do it.
Yeah, don't tell anybody you'll eat food for a price because then they'll figure out how to make it happen.
Or sit on it.
Or like remember the time that you're like, I'll shave my head for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some guy was like I just got a government signing bonus. I'll do it right now. And I was like, never mind. I was kidding. I'm not gonna do that. So.
You said like $500 or something. And it was like, I'll shave my afro for $500.
I got offered a lot of money to shave my beard, and I said no. Fuck no. Kidding me? No way. I'd have to wait for it to grow back.
Yeah, I did that on accident once, and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
You just stopped making videos until you grew it back. I noticed.
Or just camera off.
No, well, I just wouldn't be on camera for videos. Yeah.
Shad, did you say you accidentally got paid to do it, or you accidentally took a chunk out of it and then shaved it?
I shaved my beard off, and it was a mistake.
Okay.
You made a decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was not the right decision.
That's not an accident.
At that moment.
That was an accident. It was definitely a mistake, and I regret it. And I call it an accident.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Riri. All right, we're gonna wrap things up. We'll get the rest on a square up on Rumble and Nerdrotic Live on Monday. And for our members out there, Clarkson's Farm, baby. Going back to Clarkson's Farm. What do you got coming up? Comics.
Well, tonight at 9 p.m. Central, you can watch me play shitty video games, which I'll be playing Veilguard, which is a awful game. So 9 p.m. Central. Of course, I stream every Monday and Thursday, and you can find me right here on Friday Night Tights every Friday. Awesome. Cheers, everyone. Great hanging out with you as always.
How's Texas? Is it hot?
Actually, not as hot as you would think. July's right around the corner. It'll probably get hotter.
Surface of the sun.
Oh, it's definitely getting hotter.
It's more, I would say this is a pretty mild June.
Okay.
Yeah, North Carolina was worse.
Oh my god,
definitely
it was
worse.
so bad.
North Carolina was some crazy fucking weather.
Yeah.
I love that our podcasting room was also a tornado shelter. So
keeping us safe.
And all the tornado shelters in the hotel, including the room, the door to the stairs for the fire escape, all locked.
Oh yeah.
We stayed at the 1 3/4 seasons. So I could say a lot of things that would get me in a lot of trouble on Black TikTok about the hotel.
Yeah. It was Juneteenth when we got there.
Bro, there was some guy just railing a woman like, 2 days in a row, and we heard we could tell she was Italian, dude.
Gary, you know we had Italian guys at the conference.
Yes, we did, and there was an Italian woman going, "Mi amore," you know, like
loud. Oh my god, no!
Primavera.
You go, Italian scientist.
Spaghetti.
So I'm
chicken parmesan.
We could tell she was Italian. She was so fucking loud. And yes, at the conference there was a couple of Italian guys. So good for them.
Hey, yeah.
At least it wasn't fake babies. Holy shit, that was weird.
That was so strange,
weird.
man. Bizarre.
So weird.
Bizarre.
So weird. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
Tomorrow, Saucy Saturdays on Wicked Virtues channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday, I'm going to be off from the morning and the afternoon, but Forbidden Frontier will be back at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to talk about what we saw there. Not the babies. Hopefully not the babies.
Probably will talk about
the creepy
Most
babies.
likely.
We have to tell Adam about the babies. We haven't told him about it.
Yeah. All right. Disparu.
More Ironheart, James Gunn marketing, Pedro Pascal, Ironheart. I've got way too many videos that are lined up. They have to get rid of.
There is a lot. It's going to be a very busy month. Very busy month.
Finally.
Quarterback.
Sunday fun day this Sunday with me, not X-Ray because she's gonna be out, and Kara, probably Mr. Porkchop, I believe. We're gonna be playing a game. We haven't figured out yet. And Normal World. Yeah, Peak's good. We're gonna play that game. I've heard it's great. My kids have been freaking telling us about it. So we're gonna play that on Sunday. And Normal World this last week was pretty fun. We had Dave's twin brother here, and we talked about chiggers. So check it out.
It's important.
It is.
It's good to know.
Conversations.
You need to know.
Yeah.
Shad.
Well, I actually kind of mentioned it already, and so I figure, hey, it's an opportunity. I am looking for vocalists, male and female, and if you guys are interested in
what about non-binary?
No, not that, but it would be work for hire
AI.
or perhaps even a collaboration. Send me examples of your work, and maybe I'll be able to reach out back because I'm working on something, producing something that's related to my next book, and which is going pretty good actually.
Oh, well done. Yeah. Well done, Shad.
It's up to 194,000 words. Still got a bit to go on it, so it's going to be a big boy, and very excited for that. That'll be something that hopefully will be out in the, I don't know, end of the year, early next year, I hope, if I can get
Which one is this your space opera or something else?
No, this is a medieval fantasy, big medieval fantasy, and I'm very excited for it, actually. It's going well.
You want people singing like people going around to taverns and singing, it's like that type of stuff?
Well, I want to produce an album with the release of the book, and these are songs that exist in world in the book or about the core themes of the book.
Can I propose a song? So like there's a point in your book where not as all as it seems, and then you can have people singing over and over again, not as all as it seems.
We're not doing that.
Over and over again. It really worked.
You steal every song from like Song of Ice and Fire. So do Bear the Maiden Fair.
Yeah.
Do the Dornishman's Wife. Just do that.
They're actually good, by the way.
They are really good songs. Yeah.
Well, no, I've written these songs because they exist in world, and they are either poems in world, which are part of the world building, or about the themes. And
that's good.
Yeah.
Bear the Maiden Fair. They did a punk rock version of that. It's really good. It's really good.
I rewatched Game of Thrones in its entirety over the past like several weeks. So I've got like a bunch of those in my head.
Yep, I'm doing it. I'm going.
I usually stop around it's somewhere in the middle of season 5, but I had not watched 6, 7, and 8 in a long time, so I decided to power through and watch them again. There's so much bad shit. There are some like moments. Yes. You know what I mean? There are some moments just because how long you've been with the characters, but it is very.
I haven't watched
so much stuff.
Fucking second since season 8. And I started. God damn it, I started. I fucking swore I'd never go back and watch it again, and I'm doing
the first 4 seasons are very fucking good. 5, they make some decisions in 5 that are puzzling. 6 really starts to go off the rails. 7, 8 are dog shit.
Yep.
But there are some moments though. There's some good moments.
Mike, what do you got coming up?
Yeah. Check me out over on YouTube. I'm gonna be streaming tonight. I'm playing more Silent Hill Remake 2. That's been an absolute nightmare. I don't like this game at all. It's way too scary, and I just ran into Pyramid Head, and
that's good,
that
though.
was also terrifying. Well, good if you like watching people be scared, or specifically me be scared. Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing that right now. And then I'm gonna be working on a review for Ironheart. I really didn't want to fucking talk about it anymore, but I'm like, I probably should just do a review on it because I keep getting yelled at about my media literacy. So yeah,
if you watch the shit, make a video.
Yeah,
like, give us your thoughts.
Well, I do during live streams, and I forget to clip them out, and they're like, "Why don't you make a video about it then?" And I was like, "Oh, well, probably could do that too."
What you do is you workshop your stuff in live streams and take little notes, and then you make videos.
I actually never thought about that.
That sounds like a lot of effort to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that does sound like I'm very lazy because
You know what we could do? We just clip it straight out of the live stream and let black people on TikTok make fun of it.
Well, I mean,
I'm definitely gonna get a lot of.
That's what I have my Asian guy do. So
I'm gonna get a lot of
Asian
comments for sure on Black Talk. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a great job. Tell
Yeah, man,
Beardo
thank
we're
you.
gonna invite you back. Okay.
Yeah, no, I very much appreciate you guys having me. It was awesome. Go fuck yourself, Beardo. Haha, I made it on here before you did. Literally last night in the stream, he goes, I don't know how the fuck Mike managed to do that. And I was like, just fucking talk about a show or something, and maybe people would listen to you. I don't know.
There you go. Actually watch it. That's kind of important. We cover a lot of shit. We all get it. Like, just stop watching it. It's like, no, for one, I really fucking enjoy it. I've been taking the piss out of Hollywood before I was fucking YouTubing. I was talking shit in theaters before you were born, boy. So I fucking love it. And it's also the greatest job in the world that I have, that I'm happy. And I think the best thing you can do is actually watch something to be informed by it, instead of going, well, I heard this was bad and no, you need to watch it.
Yeah, most of the people that scream don't watch it don't have an audience that go, hey, can you watch this and tell us about it? So yeah.
There are no name randos on the internet.
Yep, absolutely.
There you go. Well, that's called a bot, usually a Pakistani
Usually,
bot.
yeah. It's a cell phone somewhere in an array.
Yeah.
That's right. Ryan.
Just normal stuff. Stream on my channel Sunday at like 5:30 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays around 7. Sports Wars on Sunday morning. Geeks and Gamers Daily every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Geeks and Gamers until the day I die. That's about it.
You sound so enthusiastic about it, Ryan.
Just being honest.
He loves this. That's all you can be, buddy. That's all you can be. I like that's the best approach. Everybody wants to see your coin, Mike. Okay, I saw. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go drunk 3
Whip out the coin.
I saw one person mention it in the chat, so I'm going to say everybody.
It's a one-of-a-kind, exclusive, day one Switch 2 commemorative launch coin.
Okay.
Look at that shine.
Yeah, shine the light at us so we can't see it. That's the best thing to do.
Look at that. And there's the angle on it. I got it from Best Buy.
And this is a filmmaker. Okay.
A lot of people don't have that. Yeah. Well, I'm telling the guy that has the camera what to do. I don't get behind.
He's inspired by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I needed the lens flare though. I'm like, I need more lens flare.
Yeah.
Maybe just tap the camera a little bit to make it
lens flare
shaky.
mystery box. I need as much to show that I can't actually make anything or tell a story in my life.
The best part about the mystery box is I don't have to answer those questions.
Yeah, somebody else will. Bye bye.
28 years later.
We'll go. Here's one of many emails I've gotten. I just picked a random one from TTV. The header is in all caps, racist. Racist dirty fucks, and your page is being taken down. LMAO. Let's see how long you dirty old white fucks will last. You coke-headed dust tray.
You can't call someone a racist and then a dirty old white fuck. That doesn't work.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You're a fucking cotton swab, and that's never clean. You dirty fucking incest. God never created white people.
Because God never the living embodiment of incest.
God never created white people. You all were thought up by the devil.
That's amazing.
This has to be like,
White devil.
That's amazing, actually.
That's why you hate black people so much. A hoodoo curse was placed on you all. Won't see another day. Let's laugh at your death next. Sent from my iPhone.
I hope
I still prefer no purpose flower. To be honest.
Chad, that's not a troll.
I pray for them.
Just because you think it sounds retarded doesn't mean it's not just a black person that hates us.
How could these people exist?
That, in fact, the more retarded it is, it likely is a black person.
But remember, he hates racism. That's the worst part.
He hates racism, but apparently really embraces it.
White people aren't people.
And they probably meant incel.
It's impressive that he even knows what a computer is. So, yeah.
You're right. They probably meant incel, but they said incest.
Because otherwise you would be incest, which doesn't even make sense.
Bobby Boucher's mama also told him that white people are made by the devil.
Devil.
That's adorable. It really is. It's so cute.
They need to send better enemies.
Yeah,
I just think of,
ones that are less
who was that
retarded.
actress on Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, I was getting death threats and like
Moses Ingram.
Yeah, it's barely anything, but they're crying these massive victims. And
well, she's like, the guy that called her the N-word was a black guy. Like,
and how's her career been since then? By the way,
crickets.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure it's taking off.
That's the thing. When we get the virtue signaling for the response for the shows like that, it's not like, hey, it's okay. Like, oh, that's okay for that to be sent. But it's just kind of acknowledgement that, yeah, this is the internet. That shit happens to us who are lower profile than people that are starring in multi-$100-million Star Wars series. It's a reality. It's something that's out there and it happens.
I think the stuff targeted us is more severe and hateful than what the actors.
Yeah,
I was like, listen to what that whole thing Gary just caught was just.
Oh, that was the white one. I mean, for one, you don't want to bring attention to it for one, and then like you balance it. You take it seriously. You know what? I have Ring at my house. I have an alarm. We all take precautions, but am I really worried somebody's going to come to my house? No, I'm not. I'm not necessarily worried about it at all. But that's how you balance it. It's part of the job. And like unfortunately,
if somebody really wanted to kill me, they wouldn't send me a fucking email first.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Ryan, you say that, but and it sounds really stupid, but we just a TikToker or YouTuber just killed herself, right? The Fox lady.
Yeah, the Fox lady.
Based on
and Gary, before then, that YouTube beef where that retard,
shot somebody in front of
front on live stream, and he was streaming looking for the guy previously. So it actually
wasn't voodoo,
but see, that was looking for trouble, and that's the best thing to do is to be careful and don't look for it. Do not seek it out, and that's I think that's some of the best unsolicited advice I can get. Don't seek out the shit. That if you're on here of a channel of any size, you're going to get shit. Don't seek it out. I mean, it'll find you sometimes, but don't seek it out. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth your time because most of it's the vast majority of it is nothing. Is absolutely nothing. But also don't be stupid. Always be careful in life. It's the way you got to be. But this it's funny. It's kind of funny. We've been joking about it in our Discord and stuff.
Over Ironheart.
Over fucking Ironheart.
That's the thing I find so funny about all this crap. Over entertainment.
We have said so much worse shit on this show than anything we said about Ironheart, like in the past. So much, and nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you, X-Ray Girl. I already talked to X-Ray Girl. Who's we got Mahler next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mahler next week. He'll be on. All right, so thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation again. The square up will be Monday on Nerdrotic Live and Rumble. Thanks for Mike coming on. Thanks to all the lurkers. And thanks to Black TikTok. We thank you for checking us out. Maybe we got a couple of subs from it. You never know. So we had a really good time tonight. Great job.
Didn't lose any. So
I didn't lose any. Nope. Actually, it's been quite the opposite. But thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Ciao, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.